congratulate you, Captain. Very fortunate moment for the surrender.
Good morning. This is not Gizzard Gary, but we have squatted on his time slot. He's out in SHOT Show down in Vegas, having fun with the other bigwigs. He's going to look at the new stuff coming out. So I'm just kind of filling in. And yeah, hopefully somebody joins us. Otherwise, this is going to be a long, boring chat.
Well, when the other chat ended, we did say it was all downhill from here.
Yes, we did.
This might be a cliff, though, not a hill. Just right off down.
I'll send you a link, G23, if you're not busy. Yeah, we did a chat. Did the overnight chat this morning and had S.A. Hinchcliffe. She's a Second Amendment advocate. We talked about some of the really bad bills that are proposed, the new gun restrictions that they're trying to pass in Washington State. Yeah, so talk for a little bit. I gotta figure this
basically we had 3 hours of amazing podcasting. You should really check it out. I'll post the link in case this one tanks and you want to tune out. You can tune into that instead and still give us a view. How's that for 40 chess? And yeah, we covered like 8 bills, something like that.
Yeah, it was. We went 3 hours, and it was all good stuff.
And I think about 10 minutes of it was actually about the bills. The rest of it was about interesting stuff. So you should check it out. Oh, G23 says he was actually watching that episode when he saw we were live. And you mistakenly came over and started watching us live. Huge mistake.
Well, I sent him a link so he can join us.
That's an even bigger mistake.
If he wishes to. John Z is good morning, John Z. G23. Tactical Foot. Buck was out there. Ozzy Orsborn barking at the moon this morning. But for those, everybody probably knows that this is just kind of a open chat. Don't really have a topic. Just kind of talk about whatever everybody wants to talk about. Moo, do you want a link, Moo? I'll send you a link, Moo.
Since we did talk politics and bills for 3 hours, maybe we could do guns. What do you think? Want to talk guns? You were telling me earlier you were going to go to the gun range, but it didn't work out. What were you going to shoot?
Well, it's one of the guys that I took who had never shot guns before. So we've shot handguns, and then I think I took him a second time and shoot ARs. So I was going to take him to the outdoor range and shoot some high power stuff, 30-06. Take the 44 Magnum and Grendel. Just
yeah, it's always fun.
So he can do some big booms.
Shotgun.
Oh yeah, and the shotgun. as see how he likes it. Everybody has fun.
I was just working on my Mossberg 590A1. Do you know what that one is? It's the one that's got the bayonet lug.
Yes.
And it's got the sling adapter on the end of the mag tube. I was wondering, how would you attach a bayonet and have a sling? Turns out you can take the sling swivel and attach it to the bayonet lug. So then you can have a sling and a bayonet.
So you can swing it around.
Sure. Yeah, do it like a rifle team. Oh my God. With like a 10-pound shotgun. That'd go well.
Yeah.
This thing is pretty long though. It's I think it's like 2 inches shorter than my M1 rifle. Something like that. But it holds 9 rounds. 2 3/4. And I did notice I've left it loaded for like 4 years. Took all the rounds out. The mag spring is lacking on the last round. I think I need to buy an extra one. But it's still fed, but I don't know. How strong does it need to be?
I don't know. I wasn't listening. Sorry.
I wasn't listening to myself either. Don't worry.
X Adam 1 is asking. He said he moved to a new apartment, set up his safe. Should he store the mags outside the safe, free up space inside that safe, or store them inside the safe?
Yeah, I would never store mags in a safe. That's just me.
I've got both inside and outside. But I've got kids, so
Yeah, that's
pretty
different.
much everything's locked up. I've got upstairs, all the handguns, magazines are in a safe, and then right next to it is just a locker. Basically it's a school locker, and I keep all the ammunition in there locked up. And then downstairs, I've got rifles with magazines in the safe, and then ammunition that's outside and stored in boxes. And Squatch, I sent you a link, so if you want to jump in. Moo, I sent you a link if you want to jump in. G23 said he needs to finish his cancer stick, and then he'll be in. But if I had a safe big enough, I would probably keep everything together. But I've got a small safe and a less small safe. Small safe. So I can't fit everything in the safes. So I had to store some of it outside. But I'm not as concerned, with just kids get a hold of a round. I'd still prefer they don't, but it's still stored up where it's not, my son is old enough where he's not going to play with it. And my daughter's young enough where she can't reach where it is.
I would put it this way. I would store mags in the safe if I'm storing them in the gun. If that makes sense. But it's pretty hard to store ARs with the mags in them if you have a smaller safe. And I can get way more guns with the mags out.
Yeah, and then whatever number they put on that safe for guns is,
yeah,
if there's no optics and they're, they don't stick out at all in any way.
It's all over over-under shotguns when they do that.
Yeah.
And they're like alternating up and down. So the buttstock's up or the buttstock's down on the next one. That's the only way you're getting them in there.
That's what I had to do, and that was because you suggested doing that, and I was able to kind of fit what I have. And
Yep. It's the buttstocks. They take up the most room.
X Adam is saying he can't decide whether to put a bayonet on one of his Mossberg or his M&P 15.
Sounds like you need another bayonet. So you can do both. Get a M7, F7, Jesus. You can't tell I've been up all night, can you? We only got 4 hours left. Get a M7 bayonet and a M9.
Yeah, Stan, the retired man, is out there. Morning, Stan. Yeah, X Adam's saying he has a 48 gun safe and more than 48 guns, so he's cramming stuff in there. And New York Outcast. I'd send you a link, but I still don't have your email, Rob. That reminds me. Let's put the ticker up. If you email me at this address, Rob, I'll send you a link. Because every time I say that, somebody sends him the link, and then I never get his address. MKJL, good morning.
Oh, by the way, we did the 1,000 sub drawing for the giveaway. Who won? Was it
Gunmetal Guy USA? He
Yes.
won the Space Force folder, the folding target base. The DJ won that. DJ Play Nice, and then Sally Egan won the revolver rubber band gun. So congratulations to everyone, and thank you for subscribing.
Hopefully she can pass that background check.
Black market rubber band guns.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's considered a 80% revolver now, right? All you got to do is like bore it out and put a sleeve in. You got a real gun.
So,
This is a long cigarette he's smoking.
I guess I put in the wrong address for Sasquatch. Okay.
It's funny. We were talking about marijuana last night in the chat, or this morning in the chat, depending on how you look at time. I prefer the smell of a cigarette. What do you think?
I do, but I used to smoke.
Same.
Huh.
So just a notification for anyone out there that lives in Washington State. I put out a video on my channel, and it's I guess you call it a what? Call to action?
Call to action tutorial.
Yeah. But I'll put the link. It's 2 minutes long, so it shouldn't be too hard to watch. But yeah, if you live in Washington, take 30 seconds out of your time and help fight this tyrannical bill they're trying to pass.
Oh, thank you, Stan. So Squatch, I resent that email, so hopefully I got it right this time. If you want to jump in this morning.
So I can forward that to Rob if he hasn't emailed you. And I can copy you so that this way you get his email address.
Yeah, go ahead and send it to him. He hasn't sent it to me. Probably busy eating a salad.
Yeah, he probably is.
Eating his breakfast salad.
Potato salad.
Cash EDC's out there. Good morning. He's got to work today. I kind of like the smell of pipe tobacco. If I had to deal with one of the smells of tobacco or marijuana, I'd go pipe tobacco.
I got a poll for you. Can you call yourself a non-smoker if you smoke cigars?
Yeah, they kind of do. What about vaping?
Yeah, right.
It's
just it's a super filter, right? They filter the stuff before it even gets to you.
Yeah, I don't know. When vaping first kind of came out, I was still smoking then, and my reaction was basically, "You just smoke."
Okay.
Hopefully, I timed it right.
So you should have his email address now. I sent you a blank.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you missed a good live stream yesterday.
I felt like crap yesterday. I turned it on and I was going to listen to it while I was in bed and then just fell asleep.
I have a tendency of putting people to sleep, so it's all right.
Well, usually I go to Night Strike for that.
Yeah, we had Chris from the 740 on, so he's a pretty good guy.
What'd you guys talk about?
A little bit of everything, but I also we talked about how he started his channel and everything, and what he wants to do with his channel, you know. So he started out his channel doing like USPSA competitions, and it was so that he had a place to like post the videos, so other people could actually like see them that were in like the same competition. But then he decided to, move on from there and everything.
Tara said she saw a lynx, big lynx looking bobcat taking out the trash. I don't think I've seen one outside of a zoo.
They have them. They have bobcats up in Washington.
Yeah.
I don't think they have any lynx. I guess there could be some. No, those would be like little snow leopards if we had any. That'd still be over on the east side of the Cascades.
Because there are cougars in the area. There's
Oh hell yeah, cougars
somebody
all over.
somebody had the feline kind.
Yeah.
There was somebody posted a picture. It's within a couple miles of here. I can't remember which direction.
Yeah. When I lived in the Wenatchee Valley area, especially up in Kashmir, there was a few cougars. And yes, the feline kind.
Tim S is out there. And so is Keith Gregory. Good morning, guys.
Morning, everyone. Gunmetal Guy USA is out there.
Yeah, Gunmetal Guy USA. Email me at Untactical Foss your address so I can. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it or not, but you won the Space Force folding knife. So if you send me your address, I'll try and get that sent out this week. Yeah, we've got bears too that'll roam around the neighborhood. I haven't seen them, but I know other people have. And coyotes, you hear those at night. I think I put it on Instagram, but a whole bunch of them, probably a couple blocks over. They'd howl, and then some, probably about a mile off, would howl back at them. That's the coyotes on the intro. That's from the video. It's all you can't see anything because it's pitch black, but you can hear the coyotes howling.
Rob's out there talking smack.
He kid because he cares.
Yeah. He's like, I hate it when G23 talks about my mom like that. Well, he has a link. He can come in and defend himself at any point in time.
He probably will. He's getting coffee. Yeah, Tara's got the two-legged cougars prowling.
Yeah, they can do a lot of damage if you let them.
Yeah, I know guys that like the cougars because they're not looking for more. Looking more than that. So it's a short-term deal. What else did you guys talk about, G23?
Politics. Just a lot of BS session, We only did about a little over 2.5 hour live stream. Still dealing with a sick wife.
Yeah. was gonna say that's a short one for you.
Yep. They got black. It must be like in a zoo or something, because unless people released him,
No, there's panthers in Florida. I'm not sure where Tim is at.
he's in Mo.
There was somebody that posted a picture and was worried about it. There's a cougar in our yard. You look at the picture and it's a house cat. You can tell it's a house cat, an average size house cat. So I responded and said, "Well, a cougar is normally about the size of a average man, so that's not a cougar, and they're tan, a brownish tan color." But there's been a few people that have done that. Well, post a picture of a black cat. It's a cougar. I got a cougar. No, that's not a cougar.
Wasn't it Joe Rogan who was hunting and he thought a squirrel was a wolf?
I don't know. I didn't hear that story.
Yeah.
Oh, X Adam saying PSA is doing a SHOT Show sale. Looks like pretty deep discount.
Yeah. I was looking through that. They got some good stuff. I was looking at bolt carrier groups just in case they're going to outlaw those here. It's like, good God.
So, morning, Rob.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So what you got going on this morning, Rob?
Right now a t-shirt, but that's about it. So
Porky
working
Piggin?
on getting. What's
When
that?
coffee? When got coffee Porky Piggin style?
Pretty much in my boxers. So I hate to put clothes on until I have to, but unfortunately you have to. So especially when it's freezing out. So yeah, quite comfortable, and believe it or not, boxers and my sneakers. Boxers, socks, and sneakers. So probably a little strange, but if I can, that's what I wear.
You are strange, so we would expect nothing less.
Hey man, comfort. It's all about comfort,
Fence Dad is out there.
Hope to move somewhere real warm. So
Well, you could just be in your boxers and no shoes.
pretty much, yeah. Somewhere with no kids, clothing's optional. Be great.
They have communities like that in Florida. Just saying.
Nah, I'm just looking for my own private cabin in the woods.
So do you have a plan together, or are you still just kind of saving up and looking around?
You mean on the moving deal?
Yeah.
We got kind of a plan. It's been delayed due to a rental investment, I guess you can state here, to help, secure some income when we do move, because I know there will be a heavy hit financially. But basically, we don't have a cookie cutter plan. Honestly, we're kind of looking for land, the right piece of land. And that's probably not what everybody else is looking for. Just I'm looking for something cheap. So more than likely, I'm going to do most of the wood or most of the work myself, like clearing and whatnot. So now just basically build our own pretty much. So probably do that. Maybe a fixer upper. Like I was looking at a couple places a while ago where they had power septic, but the place there would be anything we wanted. So I'd just use that, build off the foundation, and make additions as we went, basically. But so I don't know. She's been looking into these Earth homes or whatever. Certain places are selling really good resale. Other places nobody wants them. But we're more or less looking to live there till we die type thing. So, so I don't know. We're looking at all types of different options and whatnot. So, we don't mind getting dirty or whatever, or building our own. Plus, I want my own little secret passageways and stuff too. So, basically, nothing 100%, but most likely going to build.
Sergeant Joe Smith and N. Gabriel are out there. Good morning. Good morning. And I think Sergeant Joe Smith, I think I missed him before we closed out the overnight chat, because I'm pretty sure he was there, and I think I missed his name when I was saying names. So sorry
well, he
about
is
that.
wearing camo, so easy to miss.
So somebody else won the knife, huh?
Yup.
Got to be rigged, man. It's got to be rigged.
Well, if it was rigged, I wouldn't tell you if it was rigged.
It can't be rigged if you didn't enter.
Hey, man, I entered. Of course, I entered. You see that? You see that knife? Looked pretty good, man. Plus, my kid loves knives.
I passed on it. I was like, let somebody else win.
His prizes were beneath you.
Yeah. Sergeant Joe Smith is saying come out to Ozark Martins. Ozark Mountains. And
Yeah, it's a little far.
Defense Dad wants a garage with 5 stalls, probably like that old poster with all the sports cars in the bays, and the big mansion.
Nice. It's been something I've considered in the past. Basically, kind of a pole barn or type style with living upstairs and a garage downstairs. Something I've considered in the past too. Just wouldn't want to do that in New York, but like not a garage for business, because I haven't. I can't say I haven't been in it, but I haven't owned any kind of auto mechanics business around New York or anything. Nothing like that. But I do know all the extra stuff in New York makes it quite expensive. So probably not something I'd want to do in New York.
G-Webs is out there.
Morning, G-Webs. I don't know if you're still driving. I sent you a link, so if you're wherever you got to where you were going, you can jump in if you want, or if you can.
Has he left for SHOT Show yet?
I thought he was already down there, but
Well,
he was saying this morning that he was driving.
Yeah. Well, he's driving from Arizona up there, which I think is less than a day's drive. So if he leaves this morning, he'd still be able to make it there probably this evening or so, and have time to be there for range day tomorrow.
Yeah, G probably wants to get there fashionably late, make a good entrance, pull the van in sideways, reaching up to the door, hopping out, throwing the keys at the guy at the door, like, here, take care of this.
No, G likes to be the first one there. He'd rather be there like 16 hours early.
Yeah, I think he likes to get there, find his spot, scope everything out, get Mello in places Mello's not supposed to go before anybody gets there.
Yeah, I got a friend that gets his dog in all types of places, but he lied and claimed it's a service dog. most people don't question it or push it too far.
They can't.
Yeah, in New York State, they can't really, but I can tell you, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's just
Federal
he
law
loves
says
his dog more than people. So
if you put one of those little coats on the animal that says it's like an emotional support or it's a working dog, you know that it's a
Well, you don't need
service
the
animal. They
you don't
cannot
need the
request.
you don't need the jacket. You don't need paperwork. According to the Disabilities Act, you just if they say it's a service dog, all you're allowed to ask is what service do they provide. You can't question whether it is a dog or not, basically, and which it there for some places it becomes a real pain where like some restaurants where you can't have animals because you're serving food. Then
Isn't that most restaurants?
some do allow dogs, so I don't
Ah,
know if
that's
there's a way
crazy.
around that or how, but so even like grocery stores, if they have a deli and stuff, then they
Oh,
run
great.
into
The Russian
they can
bot's
get in
back.
trouble for having animals in the store, but you can't question, and you see street kids come in with a puppy and they say it's a service dog. It's not a service dog, but you can get in trouble for not taking it at face value.
yeah, I kind of think it's crappy. When it gets to like the landlord side, you tell people no pets, they move in, and a week later they got a pet and they want to call it a service animal. Like, oh God, let me tell you. Thankfully, that hasn't happened to me, but I know it's happened, and it would be a problem for me. As a matter of fact, currently I got things set up so that can't be done. I don't want to go into details, but in our state, there's little loopholes, so
Well,
that can't be a problem. But
now
that's I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm say I don't think they can actually like do that without at that point if they like rent the place and then all of a sudden now I've got a service animal. I believe they would have to, depending on certain states, they have to then surrender a doctor's note saying that they need that animal.
Good morning, Squatch. How you doing? Are you awake?
Yeah, I'm awake. I'm a little hungover though.
Oh, uh-oh. You didn't go over your limit, did you? You didn't go over your beer
Oh
limit.
no, I went right to
Okay.
the limit, to the very limit. 1 pint. That's where I turned into a pumpkin or an asshole. It's kind of how that goes. How you doing, man?
We're doing pretty good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Caucasian Sasquatch, pretty cool dude. Interesting stuff. He promotes a lot of small channels, brings them on, and doesn't seem to do it to promote himself, but just trying to get other people out there that are putting out content.
Not just content. I look for channels with generally less than 5,000 subs, although I chase cloud as much as anybody. So I'll interview anyone. I'm really not picky on that end of it. The part that I'm picky on as far as small channels are concerned is the quality of some feature in it. Some part has to be really, really, really good. I don't care what that thing is. If it catches my eye and I sit and end up staring at it for a while and it's got 25 subs, I kind of figure other people might like it too. And that's where it all came from, is instead of sending out share links and stuff, I have a whole show dedicated to shilling for a specific channel for 1 hour. It's kind of like the Jerry Lewis telethon, but for some broke guy in the sticks. I post all their links and everything. I got a whole army of mods that trace down every link associated with you. All that stuff gets dumped in the chat, Instagram, Facebook, anything you got that you want to throw in chat gets thrown in chat. Your channel link gets put in the description on the show. I edit the show down to a non-copyrighted format. And I used to give the episode to the guests, but it became a real pain in the ass trying to get every one of these tiny channels to figure out how to get an email. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. But I have great fun. I really do. I appreciate you letting me up here, man.
Well, no problem, man. You got an awesome voice. I don't know if you've seen DJ Play Nice. He's got a similar voice to you without the Southern accent.
Oh, well,
Your
let me
great
tell you.
radio voice.
You remember what I said about the Cougars? They usually get drinks before they attack. That's how it goes in Georgia. How it works. Do you remember what my previous YouTube name was?
Yeah.
Yeah. That profile is where I get most of my real mods from. And when I have a guest, I mod the guest, so when he comes into chat during the show and during the premiere of his episode, he can come in and post all of his own links that he wants to. Like last night, the only link Jake wanted me to post was his PayPal. I was like, yeah, like, no, you've got other links. My mods have already found them. They're going to get posted too with your PayPal. Oh, okay. There. I call it the shillining.
So, Gun Metal Guy wants you to confirm that you received his email.
Oh, yeah. Let me check my email quick. Yep, got it.
So is Caucasian Sasquatch in the firearms, or?
Yeah, man. Actually, according to my neighbors, I lost all of my guns in a horrible freak boating accident. But I have a preference for small and concealable items.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the tiniest AK on earth.
Oh, wow.
Like full 7.62, and I can just about put it in my pocket without the clip on it.
Wow, so it's like a flashbang.
Oh, dude, this thing will leave powder burns on your nose. It's short, dude. It's like the shortest legal AK you can possibly buy in this state. Every time I take it to the range, they tell me to get out immediately. You can't come in here with that.
A mini Draco?
No, it's not quite that small. It's a technically a full size folding stock. AK.
Oh, yeah, like a Narenko.
Right. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure, but it's a little bitty booger.
Yeah,
little thing.
Yep, Narenkos are really nice.
Oh, this thing's great. I mean, I've always heard bad mojo about people with AKs having range issues and whatnot. This thing's surgical. It's great.
But your range won't allow you to have it?
No. They see it, and without measuring it, they immediately tell me to put that shit back up and get out. Because it looks, at a glance, you might think it's too short. Right? No, it's legal. I swear it's legal.
Why is there an issue on how short it is? I mean,
SBR?
People shoot handguns at the range, right?
Yeah. Well, it has to do with some specific language in the local gun laws that a rifle, by definition, is X long. But this is measured with the stock out. It's legal. It's legal. I can't help that you don't like how it looks. It's legal.
Yeah. I'd be that guy at the range, like showing them the law, like, I paid for this shit. Read it and kiss my ass. See you later.
It's a lot of them will go on the glance look for the fact they're trying to protect their insurance. And if you would to say, hey, this is actually legal, and show them that it's legal, they'd be like, oh, okay. Because most of your ROs, most of your ROs don't know every law. And so what they're doing is they're given a specific set of conditions, and that's what they go by. Now, if you can show, or you have the documentation that you can legally have an SBR, or whatever, then they'll back off. But it's there for the protection of the range is what they're going at.
Seems strange to me. You would think the
sounds-
range would be covered by, insurance, whatnot, and then their members would come in and with whatever they had that should be legal. But if it wasn't, it's hard to believe that would fall back directly to the range. I guess if you have a range officer, my range, nobody was ever there 24 hours a day, unless they were doing state or national competitions. Nobody was ever there, so nobody asked you anything. You were on camera, but so it seems just like I could have brought anything in there, and nobody would ever known. But technically, I would have been the one breaking the law, not them. I don't know. Seems weird how people are super fussy about stuff, like when they're not the criminal in this situation. I don't know.
So are SBRs illegal there?
No, it's just a range preference by this guy.
God,
He
that
just doesn't
sucks.
like it. It's a weird thing. But it's not an SBR, so I mean. But let me explain. I was a guest of someone else coming to the range. Right?
Gotcha.
And
So you're already looked
I
at.
go to my pop's house. I've got a range out there. When we go shooting, there ain't nobody talking to us about what we're doing or what we're using. None of that matters.
AR gun 1776 and Mario Mechanic Molina. Good morning, guys. For Tara, I put a link to the GunTuber Academy. That's Clover Tack's other channel where he helps out gun channels, gives them tips on different stuff. So if you're not subbed to that channel, check it out. That goes for anybody.
Take a look at that.
And Clover Tack is a guy that he talks to YouTube, to people at YouTube. He's in communication with them a lot. So he's helped out a lot of channels that have had problems, whether it's monetization problems or, or just problems with their channel in general. So he's a good resource. So if anybody has any problems or has questions about running a YouTube channel, he's a guy to get a hold of.
Cool. I have a confession to make. The whole reason I started one of the main reasons I started my YouTube channel was to have a tiny, tiny, tiny better chance of being able to get one of Brandon Herrera's AK-50s. I want a very, very early serial number on that. And eventually, I'm going to keep interviewing assholes till I find his sister, his brother, his uncle, and his mom on YouTube. And I'm going to interview all of them, and then we'll talk about me getting one of them 50s. Because, oh my God, that thing is sexy.
I wouldn't mind picking up one of those AK-50s when he gets it all together. I mean, come on. How would that not be like one of the pinnacle guns to have? I mean, the only thing would be better is if it was a full auto.
And YouTuber. I mean, like, here's the thing: is like that damn thing when they come out as a production run. If he makes it to a production run, there can't possibly be more than 1,000 or 2 of them made for a while, right? It'll take a long time to tool up for all of that stuff and to do quality assurances on 50 cals in an AK cycling chamber. It's going to take a minute.
I'd be happy with serial number 5.
Right. I'll take anything in the double digits. I'm fine with that.
I'd definitely hold off until I knew the damn thing worked fine.
I would know it'd be even more valuable if they were trash.
I know. I mean, if you get serial number like 5 or, within the top like 30, even if you never shoot the thing and they become like total trash, the fact that, they would be like collector items or stuff, you could probably get millions for them down the road.
Just remember, put a thumb in it.
Put a thumb in it.
Maybe.
Oh,
I don't like crap that don't work. I don't care if it's a modern.
Fast. your ungovernable video.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit sent chills up my spine. Be ungovernable. I was like, oh my God, my man's eating a baked ham and cheese pineapple. What the hell is wrong with him? That's ungovernable. It's
It
completely
was actually really, really good. If you like
Oh.
pineapple pizza, oh my God, it was so good.
I'm one of those people. I knew you were one of those people.
I can't. I'm half pineapple. I can't help it.
Oh Lord. Hello, Tara Smith. Welcome to the show. What's the topic? I've got a topic if nobody else has one.
This is kind of an open lobby. Whatever anybody wants to talk about, we talk about. There's no set
Yeah,
topic.
Go for it.
How about this one? What effect do you think that the COVID mandates and restrictions had on our law enforcement? That is to say, the people who were retired out, were they the more constitutional police, individual Leos that took the early retirement and took the all of that stuff? Or do you think that the people that were mandated out because they either wouldn't take that thing or didn't agree with it in general, were they the better ones? I mean, are we losing our good cops because of this? Is that
I
what's
think we
happening?
did.
Yes.
Well, I think it started before that with the all the stuff that started happening with the BLM,
The summer of peace.
mostly peaceful protestings. There were a lot of
Damned if
locally.
you do, damned if you don't.
There were a lot of cops that took early retirement or left because of changes that were made after all that stuff started, where it made it really hard for them to do their job. So they either left or retired. And so you kind of wonder when they bring in, we're going to get off in the weeds here, but
Go for it.
so when they bring in people to fulfill that, are those people who are just willing to do whatever to get that job? Or are they,
True
is this
believers.
the time where a department is looking to weed out maybe those that aren't going to toe the line properly?
Right.
I don't know.
I agree. I covered this with Ozark Yeoman on a show a couple of days ago, and that was pretty much the root of the show. Is I asked him, "What do you think the filtering effect will end up being?" And inevitably, the answer from chat and from everyone that has approached it is the only cops that are left are the ones that are just order followers and willing to stomp on your rights at the drop of the hat.
They're looking for yes men. Yes, I'll do whatever you tell me to do for a paycheck. They don't, that's what their ultimate goal is. They're getting rid of all the people that would say, hey, this violates the Constitution of either our state or the federal Constitution, and I swore to uphold that. And they just want people that are going to say, okay, I'll do whatever you tell me, even if it violates the laws.
Same as in healthcare.
Chris,
Going across the board that way.
Chris from the 740 joined us. Good morning. And
No.
I'm not meaning to plaster every cop, to paint them all with the same brush. It's
No.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a few good ones left, and you're going to have crap in every line of work. I don't care what you do for a living. There's going to be crap people there that, and so unfortunately, with law enforcement being the focus of everything here lately, they're the ones that are like the easy target. Hey, look what these guys are doing wrong.
See, that was that's the biggest thing back, going back to the BLM stuff. That was the perfect opportunity to address problems and make some changes that needed to be made. But they didn't do that. They just looked to reduce, fire what they could fire, reduce numbers, which isn't going to change what they're supposedly protesting against. They had an opportunity to get some reform done, and apparently that's not what they really cared about. And again, this is just my opinion.
Not at all. I'm a bit curious how a bunch of supposed anti-fascist anarchists are so firmly in line with government footing. I'm utterly baffled by that. That shit blows my mind to no end. That's insane.
I'd argue on that whole, there's a few good in a sense. I think that's getting slimmer and slimmer because, you can't sit there and watch your people, your partners, whatever it is, trample on people's rights and call yourself good. You know what I mean? That's same thing as, you drive your friend to the gas station, he goes in and robs a place. Well, you're still in trouble. You were the driver. You're still complicit in the act. So just to cover your pension, to stay status quo, keep your head down, go along to get along, that don't necessarily make you good, in my opinion. I think that's where a lot of people have separated from all different, employers due to a lot of recent events. If you don't stand for something, how can, I don't know. It's like I can almost respect somebody in a KKK because they'll sit there and tell me they're in a KKK and they go, screw myself. So at least I know where they stand. But if you don't have a line, I just don't see you as a trustworthy person, even if it's the opposite line of mine. Personally, you got to have some kind of values. And if your top priority is self-preservation and paycheck, then you're a public service job probably really isn't for you.
Well, the saying, it's just a few bad apples. But here's the thing about that. The saying about bad apples is not, oh, well, there's only a few and they'll be fine. It's they spoil
Takes one to ruin the bunch.
It's not just that one that you're worried about. The farmers wouldn't take a barrel that had any rotten apples in it because one bad apple spoils the bunch. Well, if you're going to use this spoiled apples analogy, use it correctly because it means they're all culpable because there is a bad apple in the group. That's what that means.
Morning, Chris from the 740 and Mr. Burnaby Sanchez.
Morning, G-Webs. Are you where you were going, or are you still driving to where you want to be?
I'm just happy to be driving around Arizona right now.
I thought you already went to SHOT Show and were hanging out in Vegas.
So my problem with the one bad apple thing is that then you either have perfect apples or you have no apples if you refuse to accept anything in between, right?
I might accept no apples over a whole bunch of bad apples because that one apple that went in there and started screwing up on a particular police department makes the entire department culpable in his cover-ups and stuff. And anyone who's been in a city big enough to actually have like a few bad cops know that these guys stick together like glue, man. It takes a grand jury to get them to turn on each other.
Yeah, I'd almost agree.
I don't know.
I'd say more power to the people.
Stories in the past about bad police departments, bad policing, and they did. So unless we're saying we give up, we can't change things, then why is now all of a sudden different than other times in the past when there's been issues? And why would we expect that we can do something that's going to repair it and it's going to stay the same? These are issues that are caused by human beings interacting with each other. As we come up with the systems that can bend or break and be repaired, but there's no perfect system other than totalitarianism where you agree or else. So if we're going to agree and sometimes disagree, don't we have to allow times when we disagree or when times when it's not perfect for the sake of I don't want to live in a spot with no cops where we all have to do our own policing on everything. We have to stop ourselves. You know, I mean, I just don't want to live in a world with no cops, and I'm not going to suggest that because we're willing to work towards perfection or towards better, that we can't exist in some state of a gray area while we're on our way to there. That, I mean, if we're talking about apples and it's like apple pie, as significant as apple pie, okay, great. But with police, it's letting them win. That's like
I don't see it as
that's what they wanted in the first place.
I don't see that as letting them in, and I think there's differences when you talk about police in general. You know, sheriffs are totally different in my opinion. Not stating all are perfect, but at least there's something the public can do about that. Where I know in my town, you know, the mayor is the boss, basically, of the police. That's how it breaks out. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now with girls getting raped and all types of stuff at the clubs and huge cover-ups. Nobody's doing nothing because everybody's connected. Everybody goes to school together. The guys used to unload trains back years ago as teenagers together to make side, you know, money. Everybody knows everybody, so it gets pretty corrupt. But you know, as far as private police departments, we'll say, or whatever, private police forces, I think a lot of them are freaking crazy. You know, and I don't see the need in some cases when all they do is pretty much harass the public. You call them for help, they don't help you. You know, if I tell them my neighbor's busting in, they'll be like, well, call me back when he's busted in or done something or whatever. You know, they don't, it's not like TV police. Now, maybe, you know, different areas, it's better. And you know, if that's the case, I may feel different. But from what I see in my area, the public would probably have more cash in their pocket and be harassed a lot less without local police. You know, I could go on forever on this, but basically, lots of examples I've seen firsthand of, you know, bad deeds, corruption, all the way up through the top here. And I just, you know, I don't understand why we pay to get harassed or bothered with it. Not that I think we should get rid of all police, and no, I'm not with BLM or any of that bullshit. But good's good, bad's bad. And, you know, they're supposed to be the representatives out there. They're supposed to be setting examples, not driving around like assholes, cutting people off and then harassing you about it. Like, I don't know. It's everybody's stuck on fixing. Well, sometimes it's easier just to start shit over.
What do you think about the First and Second Amendment auditors going around the country currently? How do y'all feel about that?
Little bit torn. I mean, I'm okay with it. It's
like currently as opposed to other ones, or the fact that it exists.
Generally, I'm talking the cop watching auditors, not the people walking in buildings and going in places they're not supposed to go or whatever, but the people that are literally riding on the roads.
I've been on YouTube since 2009 and in live conversations since 10. And there's been people aware of and complaining about. There's very few people that ever champion, but there's people that have been aware of and complain about the different auditing. So I'm saying, is something different about this auditing, or is it just auditing in general? I just didn't know if something had changed recently.
Well, each auditor kind of has their own style at things. So, I mean, you've got your Eric Grant types over there.
They're trying to get attention, or they're trying to prove something. So it's either somebody who's like son or daughter, something happened, and they're like, that's not going to happen without a fight, right? Like, they're going to make people aware of this, or they're weird and they got some, you know, seeking fame or something, or they got a beef. So it's like, obviously they have an issue, but I'm saying their actions have typically been, I'm going to go stand over here and like do something that's right on the border of like what most people aren't going to understand is legal, and then, you know, assume the police are going to interact with me and then record it. So like I say, since it's all different, is it, are they getting more extreme now, or is it just the concept that
no, actually it's less extreme. The auditors are getting more brigaded. They're learning how to interact with cops in like a unexpected situations. Like, truth be told, he started auditing because he got stopped by a cop and then stopped by a cop 20 minutes later, same cop, and then stopped by that cop's partner and issued a ticket every time they stopped him. And it was all because of I think a damaged tag. So like every cop in this little small Texas town ticketed him on the same day within 25 yards of each other or some crap like that. So he went back with a camera and he's been cleaning up the mean streets of Texas ever since.
I'll be back in a couple minutes. So Baron,
Yeah.
take over for just a bit.
Sure. Continue.
What's
So,
actually come from his audit? CS or Caucasian
in one
Sasquatch.
case, in one case, a cop quit the force in that particular town for about 6 months and then started working a little ways away, kind of quietly. They call it the gypsy cop syndrome, where they get booted out of one place and go work somewhere else doing exactly the same thing. I mean,
Okay. But nothing's internally been done with the police department or anything like that.
he files all the complaints and everything that come out of it. He includes all of the footage that's necessary for internal affairs to deal with that stuff. So apparently things are happening. I mean, these cops are being shuffled around, and he claims his particular town, his police force has gotten way more better trained. More better. I'm hungover.
Shuffle around isn't fixing the problem, though. Unfortunately.
No, it's not.
So
but I
it's cleaning up his area and making a difference, making it look good there, and just sending the trouble elsewhere. I mean, obviously, you know this, but I think that's part of the problem is the whole union aspect of it, where it's almost not a problem, or they can get fired in this town and go 2 miles over and get hired in the next town, doing the same exact thing. That seems a little strange,
And I agree, it is a bit strange. And I've never been a huge fan of the concept of gypsy cops, but they exist. They are real things, and there's no mechanism to deal with them other than the court of public attention. That's all you can do, is make them well known enough so that normal people who watch YouTube come across this individual and go, oh, wait, he's one of those cops. Not a good apple. And you stay on your P's and Q's and take care of things legitimately. But beyond awareness, I don't know what else you can do about gypsy cops.
It's almost like they want to rule over fear instead of respect, in a sense.
Exactly.
And that's where I have issues with a lot of things in life.
Okay. In that case, so it's kind of a 50-50 thing. You're torn on the idea of filming cops from public spaces, or do you approve of filming cops from public spaces, and torn on the activity of the auditors?
I'm fine with both. If you're a public official, you should expect to get questioned, bothered, even at your home sometime, personally, or don't work for the public.
Right. That's my opinion. If your feet are firmly ensconced in public, you have the right to film any old thing that happens to come along. I draw the line at things like, the term is, if you wish to have privacy, you have to make your own privacy. That's why you have walls, fences, and a home. I draw the line at people putting a phone on a selfie stick and reaching up over a wall. That shouldn't be legal.
That's crossing the line, yeah. But as you're out and about on the street, somebody wants to take a picture of you scratching your ass, there ain't much you can do. Don't scratch your ass in public.
Yep. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. I mean, I wouldn't come on YouTube if I had an issue with cameras in general. My show largely started as a byproduct of hosting auditors with small channels. It accidentally happened. I hosted one, and then another, and then another. And then I had a little line of guests around the block, and I went, wait a second, that's not what I want to do. I want to find small channels. I want to find really good content, not just host auditors, So I've had to kind of pull out of that.
It's off topic a little bit, but I'm sure you may be familiar. It wasn't long ago. Not sure if it was Chicago or what. some girl decided to just pop a squat, take a shit in the front of the parking lot in front of everybody. Guy pulled in and was like, pulled his camera out, probably, make a video or laugh. Girl pulled out a handgun and just started shooting at his car.
Yup.
Like the craziness things that come to you want to shit in the middle of the street and then get upset because somebody sees it or something. Yeah, and want to shoot at him. Like, God, what have we gotten to?
Well,
better shoot quick.
I guess if you film somebody doing something crazy, don't be surprised when they act crazier when you start filming.
That's true. That is true.
I mean,
That's very true.
right, unless it was an accident or some sort of a medical thing or drunk, I guess. Like there's, somebody's going to do that.
If you're in public, none of that matters.
They're going to do it to cause a scene, and then when they're enticing people to come mess with them. So that's I wouldn't say what are we coming to. I would say, oh, there's a crazy person. Someone happened to like that on film or whatever. Been crazy people forever.
Yeah, like if you're in Seattle and there's a hobo pooping in the middle of the street and you pull out your phone and start filming him, expect to have him pull out a knife and chase you. I mean,
or go turd flinging monkey.
Yeah.
You never know.
Citizens should be able to pull out a gun in return and clean up the streets then, right?
I kind of like a concept of a duty to retreat, but I believe also in like a stand your ground and castle doctrine. And the reason, I know it's kind of a twisted thing, but I believe if you have the opportunity to de-escalate a situation and leave, you should, right? And once you've retreated to your car, if they come into your car, freaking riddle them with holes. That's fine,
Well, what's to say that person doesn't start it? You walk away, you retreat, and now that person does the same thing to the grandmother coming out of the store next that can't defend themselves.
Responsible for everything that happens, and they take everything that you walk away from. You're responsible for every consequence that might happen.
I don't know. I don't believe in shooting somebody for stealing your Xbox or something stupid like that, or whatever the case. But some people, a lot of people, never been punched in the face. I don't know. That's kind of a metaphor, but they think they can do whatever the hell they want to do, and the government and everybody's just going to support them and help them along the way when they get in trouble. So, but that just doesn't work for everybody. And some people, honestly, some people are trash. If you're going to go bust an old man's face in for $20, you should be freaking buried, in my opinion. I don't want to pay for you in jail. I don't want to rehabilitate you. I don't care what your story is. You should be fucking shot.
Pretty succinct there, brother. It is a brilliant solution.
Sorry, I'm harsh, but
one.
That we don't have the jails full. You don't have the 5-time rapists. You don't have people out there that should have been locked up. You can't believe they're on the street, and now they're out robbing old people and doing all this shit again.
So the same police
people only do what you let them get away with. You let your wife cheat, then you expect her to come home cheat.
The same police you just settled those issues with, you're going to give ultimate control over who lives and dies. So they can't.
No, they have that choice. They don't have to go screwing with other people. They have the choice. And maybe they pick somebody that's passive. Maybe they pick somebody that isn't. But they took the gamble, not you. All you doing was going about your business.
So now it's just anytime somebody comes up and messes with you, the individual makes the decision of who lives and dies?
If a crazy person attacks somebody and they get their ass handed to them, that's life.
Then you can kill anybody and suggest that they seemed crazy to you. And then it's up to somebody.
Obviously, you're going to have to answer for it in court or whatever. So you should be right.
You could just wait till it's very difficult to prove otherwise, and you could do whatever you want and say that they were crazy to you. If you're going to allow the individual to have ultimate decision making.
Evidence.
I don't know.
You say anything you like, the evidence will tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that already in some cases happens today. So I don't know. But, either way, I don't know, semantics aside, whatever. Guys, don't start shit and there ain't a problem. Pretty simple.
Or shit won't be no shit. Riddled with holes.
So I was gonna.
conversation than earlier today. That was incredible. It was definitely the best thing I've heard this year. I suspect that you guys said at the end of the show, it might shadow.
All right. So what's the next topic?
That was so awesome.
Earlier, a little bit ago, unknown user asked. His brother has a 1897 trench gun. He's looking for someone who will load a box of brass cases. He will pay for supplies and shipping and labor.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't you need an FFL for manufacturing ammo if he's paying for your labor?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that would
It's
be
I'm not going
shipping-
to tell on
there.
you, but
Shipping gets a
saying.
little expensive because you've got an explosive.
Maybe
But-
give them money as a gift, and they give you ammo as a gift.
And then the ATF or AFT, as Biden says, comes and knocks
Yeah.
on your door.
So the shipping of the ammo, the finished product, isn't expensive because you can ship ammo. Now, the shipping of like the individual, primers, powder, that's where it becomes expensive because you have to pay hazmat fees. But once they're combined and put into a single cartridge, they're no longer explosive.
Yeah. When you have a case of primers and you crush that with drive over it with a truck, what's going to happen? But you separate them all by the distance between them. When they're in brass cases and you run over them, nothing happens. So you've separated the material to where it's not going to be as dangerous. And you can ship it UPS ground for the same price as any other UPS ground. There's no sticker on it.
I don't know if anybody said hey to Mike White or Wielding While Armed. Good morning, guys.
Yep, I said. So
I
want to touch on a comment that M. Gabriel had a little while ago, where he said you have a duty to retreat.
I
That
think that
depends
was
on.
a play on words.
Oh, I was gonna say because that all depends
Duty.
upon what state you reside in. But yeah, now I actually see the.
Do you guys think there's a difference between moral and legal?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So that duty to retreat, I mean, it may be your law, but in some situations, I can see it being debatable. Maybe not legal, but debatable.
Well, personally, I don't think you have a. If it's legal to stand your ground, you don't have a moral obligation to retreat.
Now, so just because there's a law that you have a duty to retreat, most of those duty to retreats say with reasonable attempt. So if somebody's running at you with a knife, you're not going to turn your back on them. So if you cannot theoretically outrun them running backwards, then is there the actual, standing and, defending yourself? That's one of those arguments that would end up in court. Hey, if I turn my back, I'm getting stabbed in the back.
Good morning, Screaming Skull Saloon, or as G23 likes to say, Screaming Skull Salon.
I got to cut out, guys. I apologize, but you seeing what I was looking at, you totally understand.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for jumping in.
No problem. If this is going to be a 4-hour thing, I'll probably be back, but definitely got to go for a bit.
He'll be
Take
back
care,
in
guys.
5 minutes. He'll be back in 5 minutes.
Tim S is joining you out there. Have a good one, Tim. Yeah, Burnaby is saying his duty is to protect his family and himself. After that, the jury is open.
Breakfast. God, I feel so much better, man. I was feeling pretty rough when I started up. I was celebrating 600 subs, man. 600 subs in 4 months, 5 months yesterday. I'm freaking exhausted.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, I don't really know what I think about it. It's really weird because, like, I'm not having the problems everybody else in these YouTube streets are having. I see the problems. I see them having your problems. I see the algorithm not working for these people that it should work for. They just pick and choose who they want to push. I think I know how, but I don't talk about the specifics of how on YouTube. I will not mention it. Only that I have an idea and I'm testing it on a few channels behind the scenes, and so far it seems to be working. But I'll
Well, I
ask you,
think
let you think about it. Why can't YouTube fix the bot problem?
that I couldn't tell you. I can build a computer, but after that, yeah,
The reason is YouTube is the bot problem. They created the bot system that's being used. So they could end the problem with bots at the flick of a mouth switch. They could totally just say, no more of those silly bots. You can do it on your channel. I can tell you how. It's not even difficult. In your dashboard, you go in and you actually block the keystrokes of the particular links and stuff they're trying to post. And any of them trying to post those links can no longer ever comment on your videos or in your chat streams ever again. Done. Check my live streams. I rarely, very, very rarely have a bot. I think I've had 2 since I started doing this. And they were comment bots, and like they were saying a phrase, not links and stuff.
yeah, I think this morning's chat was the most that I've had.
Yeah,
I've
that
only
was
had
bad.
like 1 or 2 before that, and so I think for me, it's just going to keep ramping up.
Yeah, what do we have? Like
Good.
5?
And then there's other, some of the bigger channels like G-Webs. His has been really heavy with the bot lately.
Yeah, if you look at them, if you're deucing them out, are you blocking them like from the channel when they come into your chat?
I
Yeah.
usually block them from the channel and then report them.
Right. Okay. Next time you get offline and you're like just sitting around, don't have anything to do, go, if you can, look through some of the comment bots and the specific links they're posting, and then go to your YouTube dashboard location where you block bad words and block the link phrase itself, and then it
Okay.
cannot post anything anywhere in any of your chats ever again, even if it's a different bot from a different company, because it's those keystrokes that matter to the bot, and also they're the keystrokes that matter to you. So it's like blocking a bad word, except it's blocking the specific code of the link.
Yeah, I've
So,
just got mine set up so it doesn't allow links. So
right.
other than, like the mods can do
Yeah.
the links, but because I've had them pop up in comments on the regular videos, and I don't want people to be able, I don't want them to be there. So if somebody doesn't know what it is and
Right.
copies and pastes it, and then
This
end
will
up
prevent
somewhere
them
they don't want to be.
ever making a post. Like, it'll literally stop the bot before YouTube sees it. So YouTube does, how sometimes YouTube's just strip all that stuff off. Like,
Yeah,
it'll be up there for like a week and a half, and then one day all the bot comments are gone.
yeah.
That is the day they reset the algorithm. The algorithm is very sensitive and very sharp, but very stupid. It's like the blind leading the lame. It's reactive to the things that you do. A big, pretty smile is about the best thing I've found to put on a post thumbnail for a video. And I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. If you can find a pretty girl doing it, even better. You're just making videos with no particular topic. You're familiar with Mandatory Carry. You know how he does his thumbnails with the marching Swiss women?
Yeah.
Room. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful work right there, man. That's good stuff. It's excellent.
And unknown user, I'll keep an eye out for that. It hasn't come in yet. So what else we got going on this morning?
Let's see. I think we're all tired of talking about Jack Murphy. I don't think anybody wants to talk about politics, and I doubt we want to discuss. So, how about them dogs?
I see that Screaming Skull said that he went shooting last Friday. He shot his Steyr L9 A2, his buddy's Staccato C2 Duo Tactical, and a CZ Shadow 2.
Those shadows are so nice. Oh, I rented one at the range, and they're really nice guns.
Too many buttons. So, okay. So the bad apples analogy with the police is a non sequitur. The filming of police is agreed to be completely okay, provided it's done for public. It's when people do strange things to try to get the police to show up, right? That's the issue that we're coming to.
And no filming them in the bathroom, just saying.
Well, of course. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. But that's also inside a private space. That's not technically public. Even if it is a public bathroom, that is a place everyone has agreed, like legally, is a private space. That's why you have stalls.
Yeah, I was gonna say the when they interject themselves into what's going on. If
Right.
they're standing by and watching and documenting, no problem. But then when they get up, and even if it's not interference, but they're up in the space of what's going on, when they're, the cops are, we're not talking good cops, bad cops or nothing, just
Right. Just cops.
generic. They're trying to do this job, and then you've got this thing here that you've got to kind of pay attention to while you're trying to do this. Whereas, when they're a little bit of distance, a good distance, they're not in the middle of what's going on and just documenting, where it's the cop really doesn't have to focus on them unless they want to focus on,
Right.
the guy standing behind them.
Yeah, if they're not hindering the investigation or hindering, whatever, then that's acceptable. But yeah, like if you're up there harassing or even just standing in the way and making them go further to do their job, most of the time they're just going to turn and cuff and stuff you, and they have that legal right if you're hindering an investigation.
Sure. And hindering and interfering are both against the law. Now, they both have slightly different definitions in different states, which makes this a very difficult conversation to have, because in some states, hindering is literally doing anything that takes the officer's mind off of whatever the hell's going on. And interfering is a physical action taken to do the same thing. So hindering would be like leaning up against the car and not going away when they ask you to step back, right? That would be hindering. You didn't physically really do anything. You're just in the wrong place and refuse to leave. So you're hindering. They cuff and stuff you and you get charged with that. But interfering is where you physically take an action that leads to the inability of officers to do their job. In both cases, it's illegal. But me standing 10 feet away filming, I don't think that should ever be a problem, provided my feet are in public, right? I mean, public servant doing public duty.
Yeah, you know, as long as you're not. If they say, "Hey, can you step back 5 feet?" and you step back 5 feet,
Right. Well, let me ask you this: what if
then
you're
you're.
25 feet away and they ask you to step back another 5?
Well, I guess it all depends upon like what's going on.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
if you got like a murder investigation going on, who's to say
Hey,
that 25 feet you're not still within the crime scene?
and they make loads of crime tape. They make so much crime tape,
Exactly.
the whole world. So go ahead and wrap up wherever you don't want me to be.
Yep.
That's legal. Do
And
that.
you can ask the officer, hey, can you put up crime scene tape where you do
Right.
not want me to pass? And they'll tell you, hey, yeah, we can do that if it's warranted. Otherwise, if they don't warrant the crime that scene needs to be roped off, then pretty much it's fair game as long as you're not right up in their grill.
The law says like 10 feet in some states, 15 in other states, but it's also generally written so that a reporter, right, can be close enough to a scene to be able to hear what's being said in a particular interaction. If you're reporting active news, the cops have no responsibility for your safety.
Yep.
None.
And the thing, most of the time, the cameras these days and the microphones these days, you can be quite a distance away and still make it seem like you're 6 inches from them.
Yeah, I've been doing like little fundraisers for different auditors to get them zoom lenses because they're gonna get shot doing what they doing. Like, we got to get that woman a zoom lens. I don't like that.
Oh, I have a good one, Chris. Chris is taking off.
Fine.
Does this work? Am I connected?
I'm certain G Webs is talking.
I can't hear him.
I think he was talking. I heard something. His little thingy was moving. So how do we go about getting theme songs for our channels, people? No freaking clue. I wasn't expecting to have 600 subs in 4 or 5 months. I was expecting to be here in like 3 years.
Well, depends on what kind you want. There's the free music that's in the creator studio.
I've chewed through fucking hours of that stuff, and I haven't not quite found something that hit me wet in the face yet.
That or make it yourself.
Let me tell you what I did. Before I started my show, I hooked up on a live stream, which is where I got the format of my show from Cognitive Talks. He does a live stream every few days where he laughs at people on the internet. I thought, shit, I can laugh at people on the internet. I already do that for free. No problem there. So before I got started, he does a little bit of music. He's got like 5 or 6 songs, a grand total of 1,000 views across his whole music channel, maybe 2,000 total. And I was like, he's got this one song called Our Lives Online. And I started using it as a theme song. And for the first month, no problems, no copyrights, no nothing. I had talked to him beforehand, was like, do you copyright your music? He's, man, you can use anything you want. He broke like, I don't know, 250 views on that one tune that I was using for a theme song. Guess what just got copyrighted?
Did he? Do you know if he did or because there's people that will put copyright strikes or claims on music that's not theirs. Gizzard Gary, he plays the national anthems on the early bird chat, and it's the U.S. Marine Band playing it. And I think it's an Australian sports news that they kept putting copyright claims on him for that.
That's brilliant. My favorite one is after I talked to Cog and started using his music. One of the songs one day pops a copyright claim from some freaking Blacktop Studio Incorporated somewhere, which as far as I can tell doesn't actually exist. I can't find it anywhere. It's not real because I was like, shit, I'll pay for it. I'll buy it. I mean, I'm having so much fun. I'll definitely pay for my hobby, no problem, right? And yeah, no, they don't own it. It's not theirs. I don't. I just cut it out of all my edits. I just screw it.
Anymore. So I had a copyright for a music violation, and I just challenged it and said, hey, this falls under like fair use, and the person claiming doesn't actually own the music, and it took probably 2.5 weeks, and YouTube came back and said, you're absolutely right, we're removing the copyright claim.
That's cool. That's neat.
So sometimes
I don't leave them up.
They can be hard to fight, and that's what the music studios, they hire people that's their one job is to do these copyright claims because they make a lot of money off them, and they're hard to fight. And if you lose 3 of them, then you get a channel strike.
Right. So I play on my live streams, and when I go back and edit my show down to just, my show, I edit out all of the copyrightable material. Anything I think might be copyrightable gets gone. So when I'm doing my show, it's real I got to keep in mind my editing later so that when I go to play something, I actually create a gap to use for editing, right? So I'll literally just stop and sit there for like 3 seconds. So I'll be able to find that spot so I can cut it out and it won't look weird when I do it, Pre-thought crime. I don't know.
Yeah,
you
we
also,
did
pay someone to make you a theme song.
I've been
There's
thinking about it,
services out there.
but I don't know, man. There's a couple of real good Sasquatch tunes already on YouTube. I was thinking about just getting a license for one of them. There's a couple of real good ones. One of
we
them's got
did
like 5 views, which is weird to me.
we did a music chat where I played 10 12-second clips, and I think I had like 25 copyright claims on that one. And then there were 3, I think, which blocked it, blocked that video worldwide. And they do have an option where you can have them go in and either try and cut out that song,
Yeah,
or
I've never had much luck with it.
or cut out all the audio during that time. And I had them cut out the songs, and it worked okay. And then after a couple months, another one popped up which blocked it again. And then I told them, yeah, just cut it out. And I haven't gone back to check to see if it worked or not. But I knew there was a good chance that would happen. It was just, we're just doing something that wasn't serious just to have fun, and because can't be serious all the time.
that and one thing, if you're not monetizing your live streams, who cares if there's a music copyright, because that only goes that the money you would make on that video would then go, a portion of it would go to that other company. So if you're not monetizing it, they have no claim to any of the potential money.
The copyright claims I don't really care about. I'm not monetized. I'm not going to monetize it. So the only thing is they can run ads to pay whoever did that claim. So they can throw ads on, if that whoever made the claim wants to, they can throw ads on your video so they can make money. But which again isn't a huge deal.
They're not going to make much money on that one. What if we had like 1 view in the last 3 months?
Yeah, every time somebody says they watched my show, I was like, oh, that's you. You're that guy, huh? And I feel bad saying shit like that because my chats usually have 10 to 20 people in them. But they're not the same people. They're like, there might be 60 people come through a chat, just to come get their link dropped. But that's all traffic. You know what I'm saying? That's feeding the beast.
Baron, are you busy at the moment?
I am not.
Can you do this for me?
Does this work yet?
Ooh, yes, I can.
Thank you.
I'm a mod also. I could easily throw out links.
Does my microphone work yet?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're still kind of soft, but you're not garbled like you were. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
If I move this up, is that better?
About the same. Just yell. Scream it out.
Oh, dude, I did a show with a deaf guest the other day. That was one of the most stressful live streams I've ever done in my life, man.
I think I
I
watched part of that one. Didn't get to finish it yet.
I haven't put the premiere up, the edited episode up yet. It's privated again. Although I don't know if everybody knows this, so I'm going to mention it. When you share a video for a live stream, or you do a community share to share a live stream, and you get that live stream link that you share with that post, right? If they private that video, you can't go to their channel and click on it and go to that video, but you can go to your channel and click on the link in your community share post and go to a privated video. Did you know that?
Unlisted or privated?
Privated,
Wow.
unlisted or otherwise. If it exists in the YouTube sphere and you have that original live stream link that it was issued out, that is then attached to that video as its permanent identifying link. If I post my chat, I'm sorry. If I post my live stream link for a live stream upcoming, that link will still be active for that live stream after the live stream closes, because it's now that video's link in the system. So if you share that link before the show, at any point in time afterwards, as long as it's on YouTube, anyone that can find that link, click it, can go straight to that video, watch the whole thing. So most of my episodes are behind the privated wall, and anybody who wants to go see the full live streams with the After Dark section and me getting drunk and plastered, like, y'all want to go see that shit, just go hunt down somebody who got a community post from one of them links. And that shouldn't be too terrible hard, because each guest, when I host people, I ask them, when you get 500 subs and you get your community tab, I request one community post a week. That's if you agree with the channel I'm hosting. So if I'm hosting a weird religious channel and you don't agree with that kind of stuff, don't post the link. No hard feelings. But this is how I'm growing these other channels. This is how channels that have been stuck at 400 subs for 18 months, 2 years, suddenly get 15, 20, 30 new subs, is just by having the exposure outside of the algorithm. I told you about it, not, you know what I'm saying? It was a vocal thing.
Have you run into any Hunam Muhammads yet?
Dude, hold on. Hold up. Look at what I got behind you, brother. Yes. Oh my God, I just ruined everything.
Oh.
This is
good
live,
morning.
folks.
Good morning, Mystic. So are you snob free yet, Mystic, or is he still with you?
I think
Has he headed to SHOT Show yet?
I think she's been snob free since Friday evening, Saturday morning, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I know Snobby. He was in my chat yesterday saying that he was in Arizona or something.
She's saying snob free since yesterday.
Couldn't
Enjoy
hear
your
ya,
freedom,
Caucasian.
How about now?
There
Yep.
you go.
All right. You see this over here, right? I have a full Muslim prayer cloth on my wall, and I spent 4 months telling jokes in front of it because I can't read that stuff. Can you spell offended? But I had a very nice Muslim explain to me why they were all wanting to cut my head off. It was an interesting conversation, to say the least. But it's beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful pieces I have in my house, and I have quite a bit of like different kinds of art and stuff. But that is gorgeous.
Can you do you know what it is? Oh shit!
It's a Muslim prayer cloth.
Oh, I'm breaking stuff. What is
right.
Is it a certain place or is it just made up?
It's 3 places. One is like the black at Mecca. One of them is Mecca, the altar at Mecca. One of them is the Hagia Sophia. I think it's Hagia Sophia. Anyway, and the third one is some. It's an early Arabian mosque, and like it's this particular mosque, like the Dome of the Rock or something like that. It's a particular one. 3 holy places on a prayer rug for them to pray upon to the east. And my wife's grandmother brought it back from what was at the time Palestine, when she visited back in like the 60s and 50s. Got it and a bunch of other stuff. That
Yeah,
thing
Dome of the Rock is Jerusalem.
right. I'm not sure that's the Dome of the Rock. I don't know. He told me. I can go back and look, find out. He told me what they were. He was one of the nicest guys I've ever met on YouTube.
Oh, we lost G-Webs again. So what does everybody have planned for today?
Getting ready for the work week. I think I'm going to attempt to go back to work after 2 weeks off.
That can be tough. Sometimes you need a vacation from your vacation, though.
Well, I had the vacation from the 16th of December till the 3rd of January. and then from then to so far now, I've been taking the vacation from the vacation, dealing with the wife.
How's she doing?
She's getting better. She's at home, so getting antibiotics and everything in her to get over the double lung pneumonia.
Well, that's good. She's feeling. Is she feeling better or just getting better?
I think a little of both.
That's good. I'm going to be making some stuffed peppers tonight.
Ooh,
that's all I got planned.
What are you stuffing them with?
Cream cheese, mozzarella, Parmesan, garlic. I think that's about it.
I like the Spanish rice stuffed pepper.
Oh, I'm doing jalapenos.
That kind of pepper.
Yeah.
Not green peppers.
Yeah, doing the bell peppers, and you stuff them with hamburger, rice, cheese, and jalapeno chunks. Cook them, and then right when they're about done, you melt more cheese over the top of them. That becomes real tasty.
I used to make stuffed jalapenos, and I would chop up a whole habanero and then stuff that in. And I'd be like, oh, you want a jalapeno popper? I'm like, oh, yeah, I love those. And it's got a full habanero in it. That's always fun.
You could always try it with some ghost peppers or some Carolina Reapers.
Oh, I don't want to get sued.
Now, are you responsible if they take it of free will?
Well, like if they have a heart attack. Yeah, I'm probably responsible. Like if you tell somebody it's a jalapeno popper, but it's got like a comedic amount of hot pepper that's not a jalapeno, I feel like you can be liable. But better safe than sorry.
I look at it this way. If somebody offers you food and you accept it, you are accepting all responsibility for whatever you consume. Due to the fact you do not know, unless you say, okay, what the hell is in this? If you ask them what's in it and they don't tell you everything that's in it, okay, well then you didn't, you know. But if somebody says, hey, you want a jalapeno popper? And you're like, hey, yeah, cool. And you eat it and it's got friggin' like ghost chilies in there or Carolina Reapers in there, that's on you. Because you
I
didn't do
agree.
your due diligence.
I'm allergic to beans. If I eat something with beans in it, that's my fault. So I don't hang out at Mexican restaurants. I don't go to cowboy cook-offs. I don't do those things.
Like, yeah, my wife's allergic to peas and like a lot of the legumes, lentils, crap like that. And so, yeah, if we go someplace, we're double checking, hey, does this have any of this kind of stuff in there?
What did Vizzini say? Never accept what you're given. Anybody?
No.
The Princess
I don't know
Bride.
that.
I don't watch movies.
Vizzini?
Oh.
Oh my God. We need to kidnap this man and take him to a decent theater.
The last movie I think I went and saw was in 01.
Allergic to bananas. Wow.
Huh. I've never heard of anybody being allergic to bananas. We got farty pancakes out there.
Yeah, pancake boys out there.
A joke for you.
Okay, so what's the joke?
In chat. How many pandas does it take to screw in a light bulb? None.
0.
Pandas don't screw. That's why they're endangered. How many men does it take to wallpaper a room?
I've heard this
That
one.
depends entirely on how thin you slice him. How many Democrats does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
1, but he counts as 4, and it costs $700,000. I'm still trying to come up with a Republican joke. I'm working on it. How do you kill a blonde in a swimming pool?
How?
Put a scratch and sniff sticker on the bottom.
I've heard that one. It's been a long time, though.
What do a blonde and dog shit have in common?
What?
The older they get, the easier they are to pick up. What do you call a cow spying on another cow?
I don't know. What?
Stakeout. Should I continue? I got like 250 of these on my channel. I can sit here and do this all day, dude. They're all
I only
dumb.
have one joke, but it's way too offensive.
Hey, let me tell you another thing I do for fun. This was to get my editing skills up to snuff to be able to do some of the stuff I wanted to be able to do. I get my guests to tell me one joke. However, for whatever format they want to film it, however they want to get it to me, they post it on YouTube. I'll go poach it off their channel, and I edit it down to a short and post it on my channel. It's been great.
Yeah, I've got
Mandatory
one.
carry sent me a joke.
I've got one joke that I keep meaning to film for you. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Can't wait. I can't wait. And I'm going to respond to your ungovernable bit. I've got it. I've been thinking on it. I got a battle axe and some armor. It's going to be great. It's going to be good. I gotta get my mind around how it's going to be set up. I got to film it. I got to do that thing. I'm going to have
Ooh.
to take my camera out there to do it. So.
Sounds like it's snowing in Georgia. Hell done froze over.
Oh no, it does that about once every 4 years. It won't be snow here. It'll turn into an ice slick. 2 inches of ice on everything. Tear down trees, tear down limbs, tear down
Oh yeah,
poles. It'll be horrible.
but
Shut down
AR
the world here.
AR says snow's coming down here heavy. So
It must be a little further north than I am then, because it's just raining here. Cold, cold, cold rain.
Rich
Like,
White is out there. I sent you a link, Rich, if you want to jump in, if you're free.
I'm on the very bottom tip of the Piedmont in Georgia. I'm about as far north as you can get without hitting hills, and as far south as you can get and still be in hills. So, middle Georgia.
I've driven through Georgia. I hate the traffic in the ATL.
Oh God, that's not part of Georgia. That should be annexed. Pretty sure we can give it to New York.
I got lucky when I drove through there in a U-Haul pulling a trailer with my sports car on the back end of it. I could see as I was getting ready to turn off onto 85 heading to Greenville into South Carolina. I could see the flow of traffic just start flying. I'm like, yep, I'm out of here. I miss that traffic.
Yeah. I went to Texas to go get a 69 El Camino Super Sport, drove it home, found it on like Craigslist or some shit, flew out to Texas and walked up to this guy's front yard and was like, I want that car. He's like, well, that's going to be $5,000. I was like, you want to go to the bank or you take a check? At first he was like, I'll take a check. And I was like, okay. And like 10 minutes after I got there, the O'Reilly's showed up. The O'Reilly's truck showed up with an entire freaking like workshop on back of it. I pulled the damn engine apart, changed everything, put it back together, crunk it up, drove it home. My man was like, that thing's never going to run again. I drove it home. I come through Atlanta at about 120. 396, brother. Ratchet shifter in the floor. Hells yeah. Jumped on that one with both feet.
Yeah, I bought a 68 satellite from a dude. He was in the Navy and he was shipping out. And it had a 318, but it had dual exhaust air shocks on it, but it didn't run. And since he was shipping out, he just needed to get rid of it. And I, picked it up for like $225.
That's good. That's a good number.
Brought it home, was kind of looking it over, realized it was missing a condenser. So I threw a condenser in there, fired right up.
Right. We do this. And that was a satellite?
Yeah. Basically, it's the luxury Roadrunner.
Right.
It didn't have the big engine though.
That's good money right there. Used car dealer next to a Navy base.
You could just go and become a used car dealer right next to Lewis McCord.
That is true.
What year model?
68.
Right.
I love that car. Makes me sad to think about it.
I had a 69 Dodge A100 custom pickup with factory AC. It was a $300 truck with a $3,000 option.
This is what he's talking about.
Yep, mine was green.
That is a damn fine ride, son.
Yeah,
That's
that
nice.
one's
It had a 318 in it.
yeah.
That's nice.
And the 68s have the round side marker lights.
Uh-huh.
69 had the square. I like the round ones.
Yeah, I drug one of them sandwiches up out of a ravine over in Baldwin County. Dude had parked it there back in like 74. Had a heart attack. My wife never got enough heart to go out there and do anything with it. And she used to live in a house that was right next to it. House burned down. The car caught a little bit of a heat burn on one side. Got growed up with weeds back in, I reckon it was about 2010 or so. I found that car in that yard. Got it for $500. Crunk it up and drove that sucker to a lot where I sold it for $1,000. Took me 25 minutes to flip it. Took me 30 minutes to crank it up.
Yeah, and it's a hard top, so when you roll down the front and the rear windows, it's all open. There's no post.
Oh, that's cool. I hadn't even noticed that. You're right. That's real
Yeah,
neat.
because I had
My buddy of mine Dodge Dart.
I had a 69 Dart too, and
Ooh.
I would not drive until everybody rolled all the windows down. I would sit there until a passenger rolled his windows down. It was kind of a rust bucket, but it was quick. I would always go after 5.0 Mustangs. I hate 5.0 Mustangs. I like the old Mustangs, 65, 67s.
That's the one I got. That's not
Elko?
my car. It's identical. It's the same car. I don't have any real good pictures of my car.
Yeah. Around where I'm at, there's a lot of Elkos. You probably pick them up a dime a dozen.
They're not here.
I had a friend in high school had a 65.
Ooh, that's another good one.
The squared off ones. It had a 327. Thing was fast.
This one is unmanageable. I can't drive it if it's raining. I can't drive it on certain city streets. It doesn't have enough weight on the ass end to be able to push the engine.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting one of those. If I was going to do it, I'd probably go with like an 80 Elko.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I'd want to drop like a Ramjet 502 and put twin 88 millimeter turbos on there. Of course, I'm going to have to weight in the ass end due to the fact that I could keep it from like just doing circles.
To answer Makojo, why do you hate 5.0 Mustangs? Because I do. Because they're all like, oh, Mr. Somebody, I got a 5.0 Mustang. I'm fast.
I want one of them. Desperately.
A Barbie Dream RV.
Oh, man, yes. No, it's the GM 78, man. It's one of the greatest motorhomes ever created. Hold up. I'll get up where you can see it. From 73 to 78, they actually built actual cars that were specifically designed to live in. And they're brilliant. The engineering that went into this stuff, a whole bunch of really good skull sweat went into that vehicle. And they just tossed the design out in the mid-70s. Just stopped making them. Beautiful.
What was your first car?
93 Tempo with like, my brother gave it to me when I was 14. Had no windows, had no mirrors, none of the lights worked on it. When I got it, I took it up to the metals class after school. Hold on, I want you to see me when I tell you this one. So when I got it, I took it to the metal shop, found out that whatever damn car it was, it had no insignia on it. I'm pretty sure it was a Tempo, but it was rounded from all the accidents it'd been in. And I took it to the school and had all my buddies TIG weld a belly plate under it from runner to runner and just cut holes out so you could reach the oil plug and stuff like that. And then I went to the mud bog down here and bet $100 that I'd go slam through it with no problems. And everybody's hearing these huge, big, enormous, tired monster trucks, this stuff running around out there. And finally, somebody took the bet, and I hit it at about 65, skimmed right across the top of it. Uh-huh. Madness. Giving a 15-year-old a car. What the hell were they thinking?
Mine was a 71 Ford Maverick.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, Maverick was like the throwaway version of the Mustang or the Chevelles. I mean, not the Mustang. It's Ford.
Yeah.
Right.
It
was like throwaway Ford. Yeah.
Baby blue, kind of that NC blue, and with not a V6, with the straight six. It was. I drove.
Like that. That's right.
I still really miss that car. I got it from my granddad, and I think first week I had it, I put on a couple 100 miles just driving around the back roads with my buddy, just because I'm 16, first car, just out having fun. And then let my sister borrow it, and her friend borrowed it at a party and crashed into a car rental building and totaled it.
That's ironic. They crashed into a car rental building.
Yeah. What was your first car, Baron?
1969 Chevy Impala with a 327. It was a four-door.
That is beautiful.
Wow, going big time from the start.
I still got the Auto Trader mag with the advertisement in it. It was like $3,000. I can go grab it. But yeah, that thing tried to kill me so many times. What
was yours?
It was a rust bucket.
76 Mazda 808 station wagon.
Ah. Did you lower it?
It was pretty low to the ground already. It looked kind of like the Toyota Corolla station wagons back in the day.
Yeah.
And I got it from a mechanic shop that was down by the unemployment office. I paid $600 for it, and the guy had souped it up and everything. So I was racing and would smoke Saab 900 turbos and everything. Favorite place to race was right down Mission Street in Wenatchee.
Good morning, Rich. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? It's afternoon here. You just live in the past.
Yes, it's 9:00 here in the past. What was your first car, Rich?
69 Camaro SS 396.
Ooh,
there you go.
Wow.
That is a nice ride.
Yeah.
Did you wrap it around a tree, or did it?
No, but I lent it to somebody and they wrapped it around a phone pole.
Yeah.
That'll happen. I don't let nobody drive my car like that.
Yeah. Well, the best part is I had given my mother the money to send in to pay the insurance, and she forgot to send it in. So when we wrecked it, it wasn't.
Oh, that hurts.
Yes, that hurts.
Well, I tell you one thing: if you live in the state of Washington, never loan your car to anyone.
Yeah. MKJ, I was asking if, you got it up there. I didn't technically own a Grand National. I had a Monte Carlo that had the Grand National engine in it.
It's not the same. That front suspension on the Grand National is an amazing piece of invention.
Well, yeah, this wasn't a stock Monte Carlo either. It was a sleeper.
Yeah, I
So,
think I've only seen one at a car show. I've never really seen one up close.
I got to drive a Grand National once. After dude had a whole Buick collection, and he invited us over to come pick one of his Buicks to go do the engine show with, and we rolled in, stripped the engine down on a Buick. I picked the Grand National like from a distance, like at the other end of the road. He's like, "Well, which one you want to do with the school?" And I was like, "That Grand National right there." And he's like, "No." I understand. All right, we'll take that Skylark over yonder. We'll do that. Fine.
you know why they stopped doing the turbo 3.6 in the or 3.8s in the Grand National, don't you?
Because they're vicious.
Well, because they were faster than the Corvette.
They're vicious,
And,
dude.
yeah,
Oh, and their handling is better in a tighter turn.
Yeah, GM has a standing rule that no car can be faster than the Corvette that has any of their monikers on it. So that's why they stopped doing it. That's why they only did the Trans Am with the same engine for 1 year, which was the 25th anniversary edition, because it was faster than the Corvette.
That sounds like you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
There he is. Just let anybody in here.
Woke up from his nap.
I guess so.
I guess he doesn't get the memo that this show runs until like 2 p.m. Eastern.
I know, he just doesn't care.
No, he probably thinks it's
true,
still
too.
Overnight, still going. But no, we stopped, took a break, and then started up again.
Yeah, I can
No,
see
we've
that
been
too.
going for 8 hours. What are you talking about?
8 hours.
Well, we probably could have with Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, 8 hours, man. That's child's play. Gary and I did 15 hours one day.
Ooh.
I'm going to do a 12-hour stream on my birthday.
Yeah,
February
I've
2nd,
seen
Groundhog's Day.
the one channel I'm subscribed to, Living Histories Mysteries. He has done 24-hour streams before.
Living Histories Mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
He
does
unknown user. Yeah, I got the email. Kind of long, so I read through part of it, and then I'll keep reading.
Yeah,
Santee TV did a 24-hour live stream.
yeah, Living Histories Mysteries. He does like different like Western history videos, and he does like paranormal stuff too. I mean, it's an interesting channel, and I've met the guy. I mean, my wife and I went to Gettysburg in 2020, I say it was, because we drove up there and we met up with him up there in Gettysburg, hung out for a little bit. So.
Oh yeah, he's perfect. Well, that's a brand new channel, bro.
It was. He had to restart his channel. Yeah, he lost a lot of his content and stuff, which sucked.
I'll if you know him well enough to get him up on panel, I'll totally boost him as well as I can. This is exactly what I live for. That's beautiful. And he does good work too, which shows.
Yeah, Drew's a good
Oh,
guy.
he's been up longer than I thought. Okay, he just hasn't customized his front layout yet, or if he did, he did it very Spartan. Got 2 videos out front, 3 videos out front. That's it.
Yeah, like I said, he had to restart his whole channel. So.
Yeah, he's perfect size too. There's this bottleneck that takes place. I don't know if it has to do with the algorithm or how commonly people sub and unsub or whatever, but around 200 subs, man, you hit this hump. It is hard to get over that hump. It's like you'll gain some, lose some, gain some, lose some. No real rhyme or reason that you can determine.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I try to do is catch people right before they get to that hump and just shove them over it real hard. Like 100 subs, just go.
Yeah, he had a couple thousand subs, and then when he had to restart his channel, he's been having a hard time getting it started back up again.
I bet it took his heart out when it happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to stay in it when you lose everything all at once. That's why I back everything up, man. I have it all.
I do. I download all my stuff. Like the live streams, I'll download and then put them on a storage hard drive off the
Speaking of which,
computer.
I should be editing right now.
Yeah, his problem is he doesn't have like a modern computer. His computer's like a decade old, and it doesn't have a whole lot of storage on it. And he can't afford to go buy new equipment and stuff. I've been trying to help him find stuff that he can afford to upgrade his stuff with little by little, but it's going to take him a while because
Right.
he can't work. He's fighting Social Security to get disability, and his wife works a barely above minimum wage job doing at one of the casinos in Michigan. So it's like,
I charge nothing, and the best I can tell you is the best I can do. Um, Generally, about 25 or 30 subs out of an episode, and then maybe one or two a week from people that come across the episode later. At least that's what the Carnal Conservative told me. He said he hadn't got a sub in 2 years, suddenly got about 15, and has been slowly putting on a few subs ever since. He broke 400 subs finally after 2.5 years of nothing.
I think I'm sitting at 350, like 350, something like that.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
I generally I come in places like this and I sub to everybody in there. The issue I have with that is every time I sub to one of y'all, I get unsubbed from a small channel that I'm trying to get hosted. I'm trying to host. So it's a nightmare. I got another phone back there. I go and sub to people I actually want to watch.
You're at 355 G23.
When he does his live streams, he's like doing it partly off his phone, partly off his tablet, and partly off of this really old computer he has.
It sounds like StreamYard's screen sharing.
Mm. Yeah, it is now. He was like using OBS or something, one of those. It's something else. I forget what he was doing. But since he had to start the channel over, he's been using StreamYard. He was paying the monthly fee for the StreamYard, but he can't afford it now so now he's got to try and figure out how to use the free one. I told him what you got to do is have multiple email accounts and just do multiple free accounts on StreamYard because it doesn't check. Because that's what I do. I use like I do 2 shows a week, one on Saturday night and one on Sunday night, and I use a different email account for each show, so I don't go over the 20-hour free limit that they set you every month.
I just
Good morning, Echo.
It made sense to me when I realized in my first 3 weeks that I had broken the 20-hour limit.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Well, my Saturday show is a wrestling show, right? Pro wrestling, and we started doing the watch-alongs where we watch the one pay-per-view a month, and we comment on it, and the viewers, if they want to pay, because I can't stream that, obviously, the actual pay-per-view, because then I'll get hit with a copyright like that, right? But we comment on the matches and stuff we're watching, and people can watch at home with whatever service they use to watch the pay-per-views, and it's like you're sitting there watching it with somebody else, so you're not watching it alone, like, you know what I mean? So, and if I didn't use 2 accounts, I would use up 5 hours just doing the pay-per-view watch-along, because you got the pre-show, which is an hour long, and then you got the pay-per-view, which is a minimum of 4 hours. So, I mean, I would go through my time that quick if I didn't do 2 accounts with StreamYard.
I'll tell you, man, I just realized like way early on when I started doing the streaming that the pre-show was going to eat up 2/3 of the stream time that I do use. Because I mean, like I bring each guest in, usually they've never been on YouTube, they've never touched StreamYards, they've never done a live stream. So we have, this 2-hour period of, all right, don't say these words, put on a shirt, fucking wash your hair, goddammit.
Shirts are required?
Well, I mean, preferred. My first guest showed up wearing something that looked like a potato sack. That one's not. He also opened with some rather derogatory language. First,
That's always a plus. If you want to watch something funny on my Unloaded Media channel, go over there and look for. I think it was the second of the Christmas episodes that we did. Two Live Moo came into the stream. He was drunk off his ass, and it was just hilarious.
So he came in normal, drunk off his ass.
No, he was drunker than normal.
Well,
You, if it wasn't that a couple people decided to remove streams, there would be some funny ones. Like the first time Moo was on Carolina EDC reviews, and he had an angry, one-eyed monster looking at him, according to him.
Jesse's not out in the chat, so I can say this right now. Another good one was the one from a few years ago. The show's over 6 hours long, but towards the end we get talking about Japanese food, and let's just leave it at that. And yeah, if you want to see something funny and you can put up with foul language and sexual kind of innuendos and stuff, that was a fun show there towards the end of it.
and I dropped a link for Rich's Unloaded Media channel out in the chat. So anybody that wants to check him out.
Anytime Jesse's around, there'll be Gunpowder Beauty for those that don't know. And I bring up that episode, I get told to shut the F up. But most of the funny comes at the expense of her, so.
Oh, she can take care of herself.
Oh, yeah.
Whose live stream was it? Yours or Gizzard's that Pat Hirsch was talking about the prolapsed uterus?
Oh, you mean on the cow? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mine, and he chased Ghost Tactical off of my show twice that night. Ghost jumps in and he's like, "What the hell is this?" Pat just goes on and goes like, "I'm out of here." He comes back later. Is he still? And Pat starts bringing up something else about, because Pat had still been going on and on and on about it. Ghost jumps back in like a half hour, an hour later, and Pat's still going on, and Ghost is like, "Yep, I'm out of here."
Yeah, for those who don't know, Pat Hirsch, he's a farmer.
Yeah.
So that's kind of normal for him.
Pat's a good guy. Now, if you were to get Pat and Snub on the same stream at the same time, you never know what could happen there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's happened.
If one of them starts talking about a prolapsed uterus, I guarantee you it'd probably get really gruesome really quick.
Oh, yeah, they both raise cattle. Yeah, that's all we need. Those two having who can come up with the sickest story about cows. It'd be like the scene in Lethal Weapon 3 where what's her face and Mel Gibson are comparing their tattoos, only worse. I don't know if the two of them would end up in bed though afterwards, but you get the idea. You know, now the thing about Nebraska isn't all that far from Oklahoma, so you know what happens in Pat's bunker stays in Pat's bunker.
Always wanted a bunker. Best I got is a we have this old concrete truck that got stuck out in the swamp out there. Back about 15 years ago, somebody decided to set it up as a hunting blind. Got about 4 foot of concrete in the bottom of it, nice flat floor. He took a torch up yonder and cut a notch out of one side so he can shoot down the little logging road about 75 yards view. Plus dropped a mountain plow in it and planted a row of corn right down the middle of the damn road.
That is the kind of recycling I could get behind.
Dude, the damn thing's like an armored truck.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably got 4 inches of concrete all the way around the inside of it. Freaking amazing.
God, that reminds
God
me.
knows.
That reminds me of the episode of MythBusters where they blew up the cement mixer,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
trying to
about.
break
Big
the concrete. And next thing
yeah,
you know,
same
there's no
situation.
truck left. Like, you know, it's like the scene in Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. I think you used enough dynamite there, Butch.
Not nearly far enough away. I got an explosive experience that was pretty stupid. I was a kid.
Taco Bell?
Nah, this is totally like high explosive. Like no joke. When I was a kid, one of my neighbors was a certified blast technician or whatever you call it, a C7 engineer or whatever it was. He'd go buy crates of dynamite occasionally and use them to blow up beaver dams and stuff. Before you know, the 4th of July. It's always big fun. You got a tree you don't want, he'll get rid of it. You'll never find it, not even pieces. But he was we were doing a demonstration, and a whole bunch of kids had come over, and we did the math on it. And he was sitting there watching everything and let us do the whole process of the setup and everything. And I say kids, we were 15, 16. You know, we were kids, but he stood there and let everything set up, let us set the charge and back away the mathematically related distance. And then he stood there and he reached over and lit the fuse and looked at me and went, "Now I got a question for you. What's that? Did you maybe drop a decimal in all that?" And then turned and walked real slow away. And I stood there for a second and went, "Shit." And we all bolted and run. He just turned and walked away. He got about 50 feet further away, and we still got peppered with rocks and corn stalks. And I blew a freaking pond in the middle of this dude's field. You can fish in it now. Oh, Lord. I don't know how we all survived. That man was crazy. Good Lord. Saw him blow up a truck one time. Like a D50, one of those little bitty trucks that, what, is it Dodge made them? D50s? Yeah, Dodge. Little tiny truck, little bitty thing. Yeah. Put 2 sticks of dynamite in the, in, in the toolbox. Just tossed them over in the middle of it. Blew that thing into a flat piece of metal. Crazy.
Was that just for fun, or was there a reason?
Yeah, some of it. He did some of it for like shows, for like fundraisers and stuff. They'd call him up and be like, "Hey, come blow something up. We got a thing. Come blow it up." And dude was start raving mad. He'd blow up anything. He didn't care. You ever heard of anvil shooting?
Yeah.
Yeah. He loved that kind of stuff. I mean, he owned 3 cannons when he died. He had dude, man, he was a madman, absolute mad lad. He had a 76 caliber muzzle loader with all the accoutrement to make everything involved with muzzle loading. He made all of his own bullets. I wouldn't put it past him to grind his own gunpowder. I mean, I don't think he did, but he probably did at some point. I would. If I knew how. I'd do it. At least once. It's the best
Yeah,
way
I've
to pick
looked
up a
into
gold
that.
bar.
Apparently, it's not that hard. Make your own gunpowder.
It's
It's
only
pretty
like
simple.
3 ingredients.
Yeah.
Yep. Proportions. What's the
the
best
worst?
pickup line you ever heard?
What was that?
What's the best pickup line you've ever heard?
I don't know if I've ever actually heard a pickup line used.
I don't know
I
if
got
I've
one
ever
that
heard a
never
good
misses.
one.
I got one that never misses. What I do, before I go to the bar, I'll take some maple syrup, put it behind each ear, and then I go up to the fattest girl I can find, lean over, and promise her pancake breakfast. Never misses. She smells that maple syrup, and dude. I don't judge women like most people do, like most men. I don't give them a star system. There's no thumbs up system. I judge them by how many darts it would take to date rape them. Like a bull elephant. That's a 3 dart date. That's a 2 dart date. absolute ridiculosity.
Yeah, we're trashing Gary's time slot.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
no, scary loss.
Gary's can get racy sometimes, man. Trust me on that one. And usually it's my fault or Snob's fault. Or,
Well, I told him it would happen.
yeah.
If he let me in his time slot, we're gonna jostle his stuff.
I can tell you the worst pickup line I've heard at a bar. My buddies and I we went out to this bar on the campus of University of Pittsburgh, and we were shooting pool, and this chick walks up to us and is like, "You guys are spunky. What are you thinking of?" We all just started laughing. Right in her face, we just all started laughing, and she got beat red and like ran to the women's bathroom. Yeah, that's probably the worst one that I've heard. You guys are spunky. What are you thinking of? What? What kind of a pickup line is that?
Well, the one I knew a guy who had a line that he used and would work sometimes, but I can't. It's not appropriate for this chat. So I'll tell you guys later if you're still around.
Yeah, okay. Let me rephrase. That's the worst pickup line that I could say if this were Gary's show.
I don't think I've ever used a pickup line.
I'm more of an Andrew Dice Clay type. You wet or nice boots want to fuck. It's about as far as a pickup line as I've ever gotten into. The wind blew. Let's go. Just not that type of guy, I guess. Oh, I have days off. I don't know what to do with them. I got a little editing I have to do tonight and tomorrow, and I don't have another show scheduled till like next Saturday, actually. Thursday, if Creepy Unsolved gets in touch with me. Still waiting on you to get in touch with me for an actual date. You're on such a weird time slot though.
I know I'm kind of out of sync with everybody else.
That 8 p.m. slot's gonna kill you, son. That Eastern time slot. Oh my lord.
If it's one of my days off, it's no problem because I sleep in the in between times when nobody's looking. Yeah. So I'm up at all kinds of days, all times during the day. But working days, I have to kind of try and keep a regular schedule, so I can't vary too much from it. But yeah, if you can, pretty much any Saturday, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to do mandatory carry Saturday. He was nice enough to let me ruin his.
Buy him dinner first.
I don't know about Jennifer. What do you mean by Jennifer? Suddenly confused. Let's be honest. I've been confused for a minute. Mandatory carry confuses me.
Yeah, he can be. He can be very confusing.
Gunmetal Guy's got a question. He's asking how many people use Apple for their YouTube video production versus PC.
Well, I can name one, and that's the usual host of this time slot.
PC Master Race.
Yeah, Gary's a Mac guy.
Yeah, I use PC just because, so I can, I build my own. I've built every computer I've ever owned. They're not gaming rigs, but just good enough to do what I need it to do.
Now, here's the question for the PC guys: AMD or Intel?
AMD. I built one Intel just so I could say that I built an Intel, And I think that's the one I used the box for the motherboard as a case. Cut out the back so you could have access to your slots and stuff.
Yeah, I just converted from Intel to AMD when I replaced my laptop. I went from Intel to now having a desktop with Ryzen 3700X in it.
Yeah,
I'm using an Intel. But that's because I bought it off the shelf. I just wanted something that I can like plug and play and rock out.
the just built I think last year before last year, somewhere along that line. Upgraded our desktop because it was 10, 12 years old at least. And when I'd edit videos, a 5-minute video, get it to start processing, and then I'd go do something else for 20 minutes. And
Oh God, this thing hates rendering.
so I went with the Ryzen 7, and I don't remember which one it is, but it's a lot nicer to be able to get your work done when you're doing videos and stuff.
Yeah. When
For streaming, I just bought a cheap laptop. It's a Ryzen 5, and because I'm not doing graphics or anything, so it's able to handle doing what we're doing now.
Yeah, not doing graphics says the guy that's made all my outros, my avatar for the wrestling show and stuff. I mean, yeah, but this guy doesn't do graphics. If you haven't seen his work on the outros and stuff that he does, Faust does a very good job with it, and he doesn't charge us anything, which makes it even better. The guy just randomly sends me video clips.
I do that to Ozark Yeoman. I edit his work, and since it's not mine, I send it to him. I edit the funny together, clip some stuff into it. He's currently working off I think 2 weeks in YouTube jail for being funny.
Yeah, Apple's not hard to use. It's just depending on what you're doing. If you're also wanting to use it for like gaming or anything, you're gonna be just about it. Because there's not a whole lot of games that run off of Apple, especially now that they're on the ARM platform. But yeah, as much crap as I give Apple, they do fairly well when it comes to the video and audio rendering. But you're paying that Apple tax for it too. But right now with PC, you got part shortages, specifically with on the video card front, which is why when I upgraded from my laptop to a desktop, I bought a pre-built, and then instead of building from scratch, and I just modified the pre-built with a better motherboard, better RAM, better storage, just because I needed the video card. It's the only way you could get a video card at the time.
Let me ask you this: what would you think about an Alex Jones voice reading the news, like a news dog? You get a dog up in the chair to chew on something for a second, and have Alex Jones voice over it. That's
Well,
short, just a few little
which
blurbs.
red, sweaty, screaming Alec Jones or somewhat normal Alec Jones?
I don't know exactly which one do you think this is. I couldn't tell you. But I'll tell you what we gotta do.
Sued
Gotta
either
get
way.
hit up by the what? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to Echo's question real quick. 3090 ain't worth the money, honestly. If all you're doing is video editing, if you're not gaming, you'd be completely wasting your money on a 3090. Don't even bother with it. If you're doing video editing, that 1650 is going to be fine for now. I mean, honestly, it is for editing videos for like YouTube or doing live streaming or whatnot. That 1660 is fine. I'm running a 1660 Ti, so I mean, you don't need a really super high end video card for doing the YouTube thing. Now, if you wanted to get a 30 series, a 3060, if you could find one, wouldn't be bad. The 20, even a 2060 would be an upgrade from your 1650 if you're going to be doing like any video gaming or anything, which I don't know if Echo does the video gaming thing. But they just came out with a 12 gigabit card of version of the 2060, which is a generation older. But again, you're still not going to find them. Part of it's the chip shortages. Part of it's the mining boom right now, which a lot of people are still hoping for that to bust so that we get the cheap used video cards. Because people think mining cards, they run 24 hours a day, that it's going to hurt the card. Except for miners actually down tune the card because it's not the video rendering that they're using. They're using what they call the hash rate on the card. So they don't have to run the card full out for 24 hours. They're actually using the card more gently than somebody who's a gamer would be using it. Even though they have theirs running 24/7 and most people turn their computers off at night. I don't. I just leave mine run. And the time mine gets off is I have to reboot it.
That's pretty much what I do. Yeah, I think my video card is a monkey with a crayon. So that's one thing I need to upgrade it. It does okay, but I really want to upgrade it to something more modern than what it is. I think it was one I had in a box because the one on the motherboard I bought was DOA. I didn't want to deal with sending it back.
I have a Chromebook, so that's what I use.
And I mean, I'm looking at because Echo put what he has in his computer. The biggest upgrade you would be able to do that would help with video editing, the 3090, the 3900X, the Ryzen 9 3900X, great CPU, and that's going to do what you need. But the biggest upgrade you would do, honestly, with yours would be upgrading that to like a 5950 or a 5900. Other than that, I mean, that 1650 really isn't going to be slowing you down anymore because a lot of basic video editing now is actually done on the CPU more so than the video card, depending on what you're doing. So I mean, it's you got a good system there. That 3900X is a very good CPU, and then you got the 64 gigs of the 4000 megahertz RAM. Yeah, that's overkill. Actually, with the Ryzen, with the Zen 3, which is Ryzen 2, because AMD's got this weird naming thing. But 4000 megahertz RAM is actually overkill. You only really need 3600 with the Zen 2 or Zen 3, which is Ryzen 2. It again AMD with their goofy naming scheme. But yeah, I mean you got a good rig already, Echo. I wouldn't even bother with. I mean, if you want to go with a little bit more powerful video card, if you can find one, you could get like a 2060, a 3060, 3060 Ti. You don't need to go up to a 3090. That would just be a waste of money.
I do all my video editing on my cell phone.
Oh yeah, you can. That's perfectly doable. I've actually edited one of the videos I have on my channel. I forget which one it is on my cell phone. Okay, yeah. If you are gaming and you've got a 4K monitor, yeah, I would go with a 3080 if you could find one. The 3080 is almost as good as the 3090. If you look at the benchmarks and stuff from reputable sites like Hardware Unboxed, Jay's 2 Cents, Linus Tech Tips, they're all available on YouTube. All these they're all YouTube channels. If you look at the numbers, the 3080 is just a little bit worse than the 3090. I mean, especially now they just came out with the more powerful 3080, which could technically be considered a 3080 Super. For some reason, I guess the 3080 couldn't find a phone booth to become the Super version, but it's got more. The new one that they just came out with has more RAM and it's got more processing cores on it. So if you could find one of the 12 gigabit 3080s, you'd be saving yourself a couple $100 and you have a card that's almost as good as the 3090, to be perfectly honest with you. Another option, if you could find it, would be the AMD cards. The 6800X is a very good gaming card. You don't have all the fancy ray tracing stuff, but you know what? Who cares? That's all the ray tracing does is hurt your gaming performance. It might make it look prettier, but you're going to see your frames per second drop off drastically.
No, gunmetal guy. Tips. TIPS.
Linus Tech Tips. Yeah, oh, and Intel very shortly is going to be coming out with their own line of video cards. Right now, some of the channels have got in their test samples in where they're just waiting for the NDAs to expire. So when that happens and they can start, we'll see what the numbers on those are. So that could be another option depending on how good they are. And the good thing about Intel, their first gen, they're probably still going to be using TSMC's stuff, which is where the problem with the shortage lies is TSMC does the silicon for just about everybody, and they just had a major drought in Taiwan, which hurt their production in addition to the COVID lockdown garbage and a bunch of other factors. But the main one was the drought, and they're in the process of building another factory. But these factories aren't like building a factory that has a CNC machine in it. It takes them a long time to get these things built.
Yeah, I think my old computer had a AMD Palomino 1500. So it was kind of old.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, I'm
I,
still using my 1080 Ti.
oh, 1080 Ti is perfectly acceptable,
Yeah,
depending on what you're doing with it. I mean, that card was a beast when it came out, and it's still that the 2080 Ti is almost as good as what a 3070 is now. I mean, it's still a very good video card.
Still running a Commodore.
You just say that because it's anything you know.
but as far as buying a Mac or a PC, used to be you could get a way better PC for the same price. I do not know what the current prices are, but I assume
Yeah,
they're horrendous.
yeah. The main issue with PC right now, again, is the video card. And if you're going to 12th gen Intel, which by the way, the 12th gen Intel is a beast. AMD hasn't released their answer to it yet. They're probably not going till towards the end of the year. But the new Intels, they really are a beast. If you get a 2070X or a 12700X or a 12900, or not XK, God, my see the naming schemes for Intel and AMD are just like crossing right now. I'm crossing the streams and it's not good. But anyway, the 12
Geeking out, man.
yeah, the i7 12700K and the i9 12900K, they're both beasts. Absolute beast. Not only do they have the standard cores like a CPU would have, they have what they call efficiency cores, which handle all the background processes. So your CPU, the main cores, aren't doing the background shit and the main stuff. They're just doing the main cores are just handling like your games, your video editing, whatever you're doing primarily, and then all your background stuff like your antivirus and all that other stuff is handled by the E cores, which frees up the processor, the main processing cores, to handle all the other things, and it made a big difference. Yeah, people were everybody was like, "Is this really going to be a big thing?" And when once the embargo ended, and they could start putting out the videos on these things. I mean, the times of stuff that they're getting from these things are absolutely insane.
MKJO saying the chip factory in Japan burned down last year.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, I mean, it's been a perfect storm of things that have hurt the chip processing. The good thing with Intel is they actually have their own, which I was getting to when I went off on the tangent about the new CPUs with their video cards. If they can shift from TSMC, they do make their own, and they are building another plant to process their own. That'll give Intel a big advantage over AMD and NVIDIA, who both use the TSMC silicon to make their GPU wafers and stuff. So.
Any of you guys keep backup supplies in like a Faraday cage in case of a Carrington event or anything like that?
Yeah, nobody can afford that right now. It's hard enough to get one video card, let alone two.
And what good would it be if the electrical grid's toast? I'm not going to be gaming on a generator.
Well, you could. You get the you get a generator, and you put UPS between the generator and your computer. The UPS will clean the power from the generator, makes it perfectly safe to use a computer off of it.
No, I'm not saying you couldn't. I'm saying I wouldn't.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to clarify for people out there that may not understand all that.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, generally, yeah, you don't want to run a computer off of a generator without something in between that'll clean the power, because generators do not do what's called clean power, and it can destroy your computer. Or your smart TV, for that matter, because your smart TV technically is a computer these days.
Yep.
And your cell phone. These are things you got to take into consideration if you're going to hook your house up to a generator for emergency power. Do not plug your computers, your cell phones, your smart TVs directly into the power coming from the generator.
It's actually getting a little difficult to find a dumb TV. I had to replace mine. I had to search for one, so I ended up finding one. Obviously the conveniences are nice, but considering all the manufacturers basically tell you the TV watches you for marketing purposes, I'm not with that. So I'd rather have a dumb TV. But yeah, I can see that being a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, I've got a smart TV, but it's not hooked to the internet. Just partly because of the way I've got my system set up. Everything runs through a switching receiver. So makes it a pain because I've got satellite. So it goes from the satellite box to the receiver to the TV. If I were to use the features on the TV, I would have to run another line from the TV to the receiver, and it gets to be a pain. But I'm not into all the smart stuff. I don't need my refrigerator to talk to me. I don't need my TV to talk to me other than, the mind-numbing programming that I'm watching.
Yeah, no point in paying for spies. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, if you wouldn't want your neighbors watching in, then why would you want your TV?
Well, there was
TV doesn't have a camera on it. So.
There was this was probably more than 10 years ago now. Somebody hacked into a smart fridge and then used that to hack into computers. I don't need my refrigerator to tell me anything. I can look inside to see if I need more milk.
Yeah. If you want a tablet, you buy a tablet. You don't need your refrigerator to be your tablet.
Yeah.
The funny one was the smart refrigerator at it was either Home Depot or Lowe's. They had on the display floor, and somebody hacked it and was playing Pornhub all over the refrigerator. And it took them a while before they figured out what was going on.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Worked in a few places where they like to call it a smart home or whatever. thermostat, everything's all hooked up. And man, everything is so much more money to switch things over to that. Like just, your standard devices, it's a lot more money. And as a wiring or whatever, it's a pain in the ass going through. It's great, like to bill somebody, you know what I mean? But it's not fun going through all this because a lot of it's new products. So you got to kind of, read through the manual, double check everything, know what the hell you're doing because it's a newer product. Slows things down a little bit, takes time. But again, people I've seen, kids that can do things that, don't happen supposedly. It just doesn't seem smart to me to put that much control in, to put the option of that much control in somebody else's hands. So, these days you don't have to be a computer genius. You just got to know where to, get programs to deal with things. So, I don't know. Seems lazy and risky to me in a lot of ways. So just not wise. I definitely don't like it with the vehicles, any of that stuff. Like eventually I see all this stuff being linked into healthcare and all types of stuff, if they can get away with it. You're diabetic and you're buying 2 bags of chips and you're going to be a little, thing that dings up on the register that says your insurance is going to drop you if you purchase 2 bags of chips. You know what I mean? So things like I can see all this being connected, at some point. And I don't like any of that personally. It's nobody's business what you're doing.
PNW Woods is out there. Good morning. And no, this isn't, we haven't been going since 1. We took a couple hour break and then fired up again. And so where'd that go? He was saying Bow to the Robot Masters. Never trust a robot. Never trust a monkey.
Yeah. Real quick, Echo, I saw you said out there that you subbed to all those channels. Another one to look at would be Gamers Nexus. If you really want to get into the bushes with that, he's like the nut and fancy of tech. He will go on and on and on. But his information, I think, is more interesting than nut and fancy's. But,
So
he gives him crap, but he's not bad.
Does Rich, if you have a dial-up modem, does it have anywhere to dial?
Probably not. I don't think any of those. Well, you never know. There might be somebody out there that's still running one of those old dial-in servers. So you might find something. I mean, there are people that do that retro kind of thing where they just for nostalgia purposes and whatnot. So yeah. I don't know for myself because I don't have a dial-in modem anymore like that. But you might be able to find somebody that does that if you do like a Google search or something.
And for those who didn't know, interesting fact, that funny noise that your dial-up made, beep, 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 is called a bull handshake.
It's computer speak. That's one computer talking to another.
I didn't know that until I had a problem. I had somebody look at the computer, or I was on the phone with a technician, and he asked about the bull handshake. I don't know what that is. And he explained to me that it's that noise. Roll call's out there. Good morning, roll call. Or I guess that's good afternoon. Is it afternoon? No. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just struck noon his time.
So good noon. Roll call. So we got it's the 10 o'clock. We got 1 more hour to go, and we will do let me throw up a hashtag. So we'll do a giveaway. So those who want to enter, I'm going to give away this patch. You see that? The surfing astronaut patch. And then some other stickers and whatever else. So
that looks like it should have been a David Bowie album cover.
Pretty much. I just thought it was cool, so I picked it up. I'll now and again when I see kind of cool looking patches, I'll just pick them up and then hang on to them for a little while. And So we'll give this one out today for Gary's giveaway. So if you want to enter, just enter the hashtag takeover. And while we're doing a break, usually he'll do a plug for R&L Displays. So we'll plug R&L Displays since Rob's here. Handcrafted in New York, USA. And that, I know I say it all the time, but that gun stock, I love that color. The color makes me happy when I look at it. I've got one of them over chair. So that's a beautiful color. You did really good with this color, Rob.
Thank you. Seemed fitting gun stock, and everybody did seem to like it. So I'm glad you do.
And G-Webs was out there. We'll do a little plug for gearwebsites.com. G-Web's got stickers, patches, t-shirts, all kinds of 2A related stuff, and some robot related stuff. So if you're looking for that stuff, give them a look-see.
You do some good commercials, man. Gotta tell you, make me want to buy my own product.
And one of these days, I might actually get the video for the one that Rob sent me. I've had that thing for months. He sent me one of the dang prototypes when he was first putting things together. And with moving and stuff, I just have not been able to get a video done on it.
Yeah, last I heard, it's holding up one end of his couch.
No, I know exactly where it is, but I just haven't been able to get the video done on it yet. That's on the to-do list, along with a bunch of other things. Yeah. Moving's a bitch, man. Totally destroys any plans you have to do anything.
It's a pain. I'll purge as much stuff as I can before we move, just so I don't have to move it.
Well, our one cat decided that moving day was the perfect day for her to give birth to her litter of kittens. So
Wow.
You couldn't wait another day or two, you stupid damn cat.
So did you leave them for the new homeowner?
Yeah, no, they're in a box right over there.
I was going to suggest, hopefully you thought ahead, threw them in a box or something, and then you can transfer the whole box,
Yeah.
Plus, that's a mess. Like, yeah, you don't want them having kittens behind the couch or something. That's no good.
She had them underneath the computer desk, which was...
How many?
4. Three, something. My wife said something I couldn't catch what she said. 2 girls, 2 boys. If anybody's in the market for a kitten,
Yeah, how much is shipping on a kitten?
Good luck with that one.
I don't know. They actually make shipping boxes now for animals. So.
Yeah, G-Webs, we're still live. Gonna try and make the 4 hours. Hold up the early bird time slot.
Okay, so Echo already knew about Gamers Nexus. Yeah, he does like extreme overclocking and stuff. Jay's 2 cents does the extreme overclocking every so often too, where they'll like build specialty test benches. I don't know if you guys know what a test bench is. It's where you build a computer outside of a case, and it's on this little flat, almost looks like a table, like you would use for like Barbie dolls or something. It's like a Barbie doll workbench on me, basically, but it's like this big rectangular thing. You put your motherboard on it, and you put all your computer components on there, and then the reason why you do that is because it's quicker to swap out parts than if you're putting it in a case, and you actually get better cooling because everything's exposed to air, and you're not having to worry about putting all those fans and stuff. So you'll see a lot of people that do the tech things will be using test benches and stuff, which is one good thing. One thing I like about the Hardware Unbox channel is they don't use the test benches. They build all their stuff in a case anyway, because it gives you a more real world experience because they're showing what it actually will do in a case, because the case suffocates the cooling just because you're putting stuff in a box, whereas a test bench doesn't do that. But anyway, the extreme overclockers, they use the test benches because, again, that leaves everything exposed to the air. And then they'll have like this metal cylinder over the CPU where they're like pouring liquid nitrogen and stuff in it to try and get that as cold as they possibly can. It's crazy. The speeds and stuff they get from their CPUs and their GPUs and whatnot by using the liquid nitrogen to cool it. Extremely dangerous, but it's a really cool idea of what these CPUs actually and GPUs could do if you could get it to where it'd be that cold on like air or water, which you're never going to be able to do.
So how many entries do you have in your...
Let me 8. Let's try and get 2 more. Let's get 10. There's more than 8 people watching. Come on, 2 more of you jump in, then we can do a drawing.
Or you just declare myself the winner.
What's that? You don't want to participate? Yeah, that's fine. So we'll let it run for a little while, or until we get 10,
You
whichever I feel.
One
like.
more entry, it looks like.
It's still showing 8 over on the giveaway tool.
Yeah,
I think that's because it's
twice.
Yeah, it's the same person.
Gary's off at SHOT Show.
Yeah. Well, him and Snob are on the road to SHOT Show. They were in New Mexico last night when I was doing my show.
Oh, we got 9 entries. One more. Come on, one of you. Stop slacking. Get out there so you can win something. It's free. Totally not rigged.
And Stacy says they made it to Vegas last night. Okay.
Squatch has got to take off. Hey, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Anything I'm around. I don't generally start working on my computer until after about lunch here, so your early morning things usually outside of my realm of operation.
Well, appreciate you hanging out with us, and so check out Squatch's channel. There's a link a little bit earlier. I don't think I put any links in the description so far. So at some point, if I remember, I will put links in the description. So if you're watching this in replay,
anyone who finds any small channels on my streams, tell them Sasquatch sent you. It'll tickle the hell out of me and probably confuse the hell out of them. Great trolls. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, I'll take it easy.
Take care, man.
Have a
Yeah,
good
have a
one,
good one.
Pat.
Later.
Well,
Oh.
I think your co-host made it 10.
We got
Yeah, I'm
10.
gonna see if this really is rigged.
Oh, it is.
So, hang on. Let me get over to the. Oh, I,
Share tab.
yeah, I'm on there. So. Burnaby Sanchez.
Bernie Sanders. So we figured out he's actually Bernie Sanders. That's his on low key, down low name, where he doesn't want people to recognize him.
I can't remember if I've ever sent you anything, Burnaby. So send me an email at the untacticalfoss@gmail.com with your address just in case. So, and we'll send you out the patch and whatever junk I can shovel off this workbench. We'll stick it in a box and send it to you.
What's the irony in the guy saying that it's fixed anyway, being the one that wins?
That's how fixed it is.
Yeah, I just say it's always rigged the less I win. Yeah.
He
Can't
seems
go wrong that way.
surprised.
Well, see, you have to let somebody else win every now and again. Otherwise, it looks fixed.
Actually, he's a plant. He's not even real. It's
He's
my
shill.
alt, right?
No, it's Bernie Sanders. See, you got the Bernie and you got the Sand. See, Sand. It's Bernie Sanders.
Has he got mittens in a lawn chair?
He may.
Right, congratulations.
And to make it even worse, to throw us off the track even more, he puts the Gadsden flag and says he's from Texas. So I mean, come on, he's just trying to throw us off the trail.
I think I might have got this actually off Amazon. Usually I'll look at Amazon because you can sometimes find good prices on multiples of a patch. And if I find a good price on a kind of cool looking patch, then I'll pick them up so I can give them out.
See, he's admitting it now. He said he didn't win for president, so this will have to do.
Am I connected?
You're real quiet, but you're there.
What was the patch? I didn't see it.
Oh, here, I'll show it again. Let me click on me. It's can you see that? It's a surfing
No, I
astronaut.
didn't see it.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like it should have been a David Bowie album cover back when he was doing the Ziggy Stardust thing.
So where are you at right now, T-Web?
I'm on the planet Earth. I'm just under the Earth's sun now. Does Ford make a Ranger anymore, or something like a Ranger, or were they
They're
about
coming
to make
out-
another Ranger?
They're remaking the Ranger, but as a truck, or not? I mean, as a
No, you said that correct.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
I
truck.
thought they were out
thinking
already.
the Maverick. They're coming out with a Maverick as a truck, but yeah, there is the new Ranger. They look pretty nice. I talked to a dude in a parking lot a few months ago that had a Ranger, and he loved it.
No, according to Jason Stewart, the Maverick hardly qualifies as a truck. It's more of a car with a truck bed on the back of it.
I don't know why they called it a Maverick.
I don't either, because the Maverick wasn't a truck. You'd think they would go with Ranchero because that was their version of the car truck concept.
Yeah, well, they decided that a Mustang could be a electric
SUV,
crossover.
Yeah.
Wait, Are you guys talking about like a El Camino type of thing, like a car truck?
Yeah, yeah. The new Maverick is like an El Camino Ford
Oh.
Ranchero kind of thing. Yeah.
No, I was just sitting here minding my business, and it's something that looked like it said Silverado on it, but it seemed, maybe I'm crazy, but it seemed like more like the scale of a Ranger. Was, because I haven't seen Ranger in forever, but you know how Rangers were kind of like a 380 version of a car or a regular size truck.
You sure
Yeah,
didn't
Rangers
say
are usually a bit smaller, but the newer
Chevy.
Rangers are boxy and kind of bigger than the older Rangers. So similar to the Silverado, but
Was it the
there is a
Colorado?
difference. So
Yeah, that's what I was about
Yeah,
to say.
Colorado is the smaller.
okay,
Chevy.
yeah, it's about the same size, probably, maybe even a
Oh,
little
maybe
tiny
that's
bit bigger.
It was great. Does that help?
It helps a lot.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
new Ranger. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the Colorado, the inline 5-cylinder should be a really balanced engine.
Well, I think it's pretty evident I found the cheapest gas because there's not one pump open. Oh, snap.
Yeah, snow's here.
I think those new Rangers. I'm not a Ford guy, but I think they look pretty good, done up with an off-road kit and whatnot. So I'd be more interested in one of those than actually like a Raptor. Honestly, smaller, can get into different places. And when it comes to actually functioning off-road, a lot of times smaller is better.
Have you seen the new concept Toyota Tacoma EV?
No.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick. I would probably get one.
I've been told by a transmission guy one time that when you are driving highway and you get like I'm stopping for gas, to let it sit for a bit and run, just at idle, to let the transmission cooler or just the transmission keeps swirling around in there. Does anybody think that's overkill or is that useful?
I think it would be counterproductive when your vehicle isn't moving; it gets hotter. When you're going down the highway, it cools.
I'm talking Arizona
most
first,
efficiently.
and I'm talking 4 hours driving, stopping for gas. There's the concept was you heat up that transmission and then you just stop it dead. That it, it's not as good for it as if you get done driving and let it sit for a bit and kind of flush. But that's Arizona, not where it's metal doesn't get cold or hot.
Well, I know like Nissan in their turboed vehicles will tell you to run your vehicle at idle for like a minute or two after driving it before you shut it down. So I don't see that couldn't theoretically help.
If your mechanic's good and he's speaking of your vehicle, I just listen to him because honestly, a lot of transmissions are different. So you can't, knowing one, you can't assume the others are the same. If you get what I mean. The theory is the same, but the newer technology in them, they sense different drivers now. You know what I mean? They've come a long ways.
So I know that exact Shell station, G-Webs. It's on that one road.
Burnaby, Mandatory Carey was wondering if you're on Instagram.
What's he doing? Robbing 7-Eleven or what?
It's a Shell station.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
You got to be careful.
Evidently, I can do a whole bunch of stuff online, but I don't know how to work a gas pump.
You gotta be careful. I heard rattlesnakes like to hang out in gas pumps in Arizona.
What's the price?
I think he's lagging a little bit there.
327.
Cheaper than here.
I
I
think
think
that might
that's
be.
cheaper than here by a
Honestly,
few
I think
cents.
it might be cheaper than here. I haven't looked at the gas price in a while.
So how's Mello do with the driving? Seems like she'd probably just hang out in the back, sleep.
She's pretty decent about it.
Doesn't she take a shift when he sleeps?
Every dog I've
Oh,
owned,
goodness. I had to tell it not to put me in some stupid gas club to be able to get the pump to work. This thing's like, hold on, is still camera on? So sun, right up there. So can you get that? And then stupid LCD screen. It's like impossible to figure out the complicated gas pumps these days. Back in my day, a gas pump just had a little ball on the top of gas in it.
Mike White's saying it's $4.25 where he's at per gallon. Yeah, every dog I think I've had freaks out in the car. Or, yeah.
What, you mean freak out in a good way? Like super excited?
No, high strung, like panic, doesn't know what to do.
I think they're
Freak
going
out.
to the vet.
Dude, how are you driving? That's the opposite. Dogs usually love the car.
My mom had a Cocker Spaniel, which loved to ride in the car. I'd take off, go down to the convenience store or whatever, and take her with me.
So if you want to know, he'll cut off a BMW to get onto the freeway just because he can.
It was a Honda Civic. I had the right of way.
So you cut Rob off.
No. We would have been hearing all about that.
Oh yeah, you would never let it die, Rob.
Oh, Foss heard about it for a good mile or so till the guy got down the road.
Stuff happens. Everybody makes mistakes on the road. People got to relax, you know.
I didn't make a mistake.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times that's the case. Like they cut you off or attempt to, and then they want to flip out and drive like an asshole. And, like it's crazy. We're probably all guilty at some points, but people got to relax, man. None of us are perfect, and we've all made mistakes.
I just had to give him a little bit of crap, No, the Honda
entitled pricks. That's a different story, but we can't talk about that lie.
The Honda decided that he was going to try speeding up to not have Foss get in front of him, and still lost.
I didn't change my speed. I kept going the same speed coming on the highway. I was ahead of him.
Highway doing 120.
I was ahead of him. I had the position, and so it's on him.
Mello's upside down.
She's Spider Pup.
Spider Pup.
See, that's the only kind of good marshmallow right there.
I like marshmallows.
Oh yeah, we were talking about marshmallows on my show last night. I don't remember how marshmallows got brought up, but they got brought up, and
I believe this guy doesn't like s'mores.
I irritated
Kind of
Rob and made him
American.
leave.
I don't like s'mores either.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not big on s'mores either.
I like toasted marshmallows. I like graham crackers. I like chocolate. I don't like Hershey's chocolate. Hershey's chocolate is garbage, and
Yep.
people need to understand chocolate should not taste like sour milk.
Oh, I'm
It's amazing.
flabbergasted.
I don't know how they make wax taste like sour milk, but they do.
And then once you taste that, when you're growing up, you don't know any different. You're just a kid eating something sweet. And then once you understand that flavor is there and you realize you taste that flavor, there's much better chocolate out there.
Call
Nestle's
Hershey a baseline chocolate. Everybody can kind of relate to it.
Nestle's buys their chocolate from Hershey's and puts out a good product. What
Yours Mellow looked like she's wearing eyeliner.
those smoky eyes.
Those icy blue eyes. She got pretty eyes.
Like a doll's eyes.
No, doll's eyes are creepy.
Oh, like my baby dolls, these old dolls, you don't mind. Tell them about the old dolls that one eye opens and shuts and all those things. You hate them.
Those dolls are creepy.
No, they're not.
She's got those creepy like dolls with the glass eyes
From
and
the 30s
glitter.
or 40s.
Yeah, they're extremely creepy.
I don't know, from the 30s or 40s.
The doll looks like it's staring at you. Like, no, I was like, "Are we going yet?"
So how much more driving do you have, G-Webs? Time or distance?
I'll be there today. I don't like to give too much intel while I'm actually en route.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to sneak up on people.
What?
He doesn't say no to a
Wanna go to
cowtail, though. I'll let you guys
Wanna
know
go to a
that.
gun shop? Want to go to a gun shop? Gun shop right here.
Strawberry cowtails. And you can bribe G.
No, they're okay. Cowtails are okay.
What's a cowtail?
Rob was saying you like cowtails. Candy.
Is that some kind of white stuff with like caramel around it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll eat one of those.
Yep, you did. DC.
So that is a gas station, and then if I'm still connected, this is going up the hill to a gun shop if it's still open. You might like this gun shop.
So MKJO is saying need a new show. G-Webs and the Marshmallow. Something like BJ and the Bear.
I don't know if it's still in business. Can you zoom in StreamYard?
I think this is about as zoomed as I can get. I saw the sign for the shop.
I'll slow down and stop this time. I don't know if they're still open. I haven't watched them. I used to watch them on Instagram.
Does that zoom for anybody else or just me?
Is that zoom in or is that just zoom in my camera?
See the ATF sign.
Yeah, that's the name of the store. ATF Convenience Store is the name of the store.
store was closed.
Oh, I don't know. It didn't look like it was open. There was a big steel target like leaning in front of it, and I haven't seen them be active on Instagram in a while, so I'm thinking it might be I'm sure it's still there, but I don't think it's like open for business type of store.
Okay, Joe. He's funny.
Yeah, MKJ was saying it's a trap.
I know the struggle now with the StreamYard on the phone. Every time every time the orientation of the phone goes from vertical to horizontal, or whatever that's called, like when it tilts, the mic button, the mute button basically keeps moving around on me. It's like trying to play one of them whack-a-mole games, trying to find the mute all the time.
Another thing is if you try looking at the chat on mobile, you have to be careful which button you hit, or otherwise you'll kick yourself out of StreamYard.
What's she doing back there?
Uh-oh. We got kids and puppies.
Yeah, family day.
Kids with guns and dogs.
Oh yeah.
Just if the kid would to shoot Rob D on live stream, that would be funny.
Getting some time in with that Nerf Pua.
How many rapid shots has he put on you real quick?
None.
Let me have a conversation with the kid.
He's shooting at an alien on the door, so a picture basically.
Oh, that's right.
No, he can't shoot at people. His mom's picky, so.
Well, he's not shooting at people. He's shooting at you.
Yeah, I know, but I think the plan is to get him in the firearms as soon as he's able. So basically, it's easier not to try to correct bad habits.
So teach him not to turn the gun as they turn around. Talk to people.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He's got some work. Don't get me wrong, but that's the point. So he's just been able to cock the Nerf gun.
Yeah.
So
when we were kids, we ran around pointing guns at other kids.
Oh yeah, we
all
shot
with
the
that
hell
shit.
out of each other.
I
I
haven't
know,
shot
same way,
anybody.
but I'm not his parent, so So she wants to play it extra safe. I'm all right with that, I guess.
Teach this kid
He's
how to
still
play
in the
Cowboys
guns,
and
man.
Indians, Rob. Come on, do your job.
Oh yeah, all by himself. You can put the mag in the gun, you can mag it.
Good job.
You gonna rack it again?
Work in progress.
Versus that gun, you're probably better off teaching them how to play cops and robbers.
I bought him like one of them dinosaur punching bag things because he's in the dinosaur. So yeah, that's cool. He can shoot at that. He just can't shoot at people. So I know that kind of sucks, like a little bit, but if they're gonna get him, I don't know. I understand the thinking, I guess. Although I think most of us probably grew up shooting the heck out of each other. So.
Mm-hmm. with cap guns shooting each other, and later BB guns shooting each
BB
other.
guns, yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody always got mad.
And those plastic dart guns, and the toy bows and arrows shooting the arrows at people, even though your parents don't shoot that at somebody, you're going to knock their eye out. Did it anyway. Fun times.
Yeah, those times are gone.
Yeah, good luck finding a toy gun in a store that's not multicolored Nerf plastic things. I mean, we used to have cap guns that looked like real guns. You can't have that anymore.
You get shot.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, some of the BB guns look pretty dang real these days. I mean,
Yeah, but
they'll
they
get you
got
shot
the,
around here, that's for sure. So
yeah. That's because some of these police officers are hiring are complete and total morons. Can't tell the difference between a real gun and a BB gun.
I agree.
Or a real gun or a laser tag gun.
I understand you want to go home. Don't get me wrong, but I think in some situations, I mean, you do. Yeah, you have options when you're coming to a target. I mean, you can, use your car in a sense. You can stand behind it. You got body armor. Use verbal commands. Not just roll up, jump out, and shoot a kid. So, which unfortunately happens. Not that all do, but we've obviously heard those stories.
It happens, but the problem is every time something like that happens, it becomes the big story. So that's what everybody hears, and then they think it happens all the time. When it's like one isolated incident that happened a couple decades ago, but people still insist that it happens today.
I think it does, honestly, still happen.
Yeah, but not like what people make it out
not
to be.
not to that extent. And there's probably a lot of close calls as well, just with officers in a sense not knowing the law. I've had them freak out on me asking about going to rallies and stuff, calling their local authorities just to double check if they're treating me like a criminal because they don't know their own law. Like, you can't bring a gun in our state. Like, well, I got a permit from who? Like, freaking out on me. like, relax, man. If I was a criminal, I wouldn't be calling to double check. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So, you never know. It's unfortunate, but there is so many laws half the time that the officers don't even know them. So.
Oh yeah, there's no way an individual cop is going to know every single law. It's impossible.
Yeah, G23 wants to send you, Rob, wants to send a target with your picture on it for the kid to shoot at.
Go for it. But pictures are fine.
Yeah, there's lots of tutorials online how to up the power of the Nerf guns.
Yeah, I don't think that little guy needs to be upping the power on this Nerf gun quite yet. We don't need a Tim the Toolman Taylor in the making.
I haven't seen too many of those kind of videos, but they modify them too, right? They'll like put bigger mags on them or push two of them together and like playing with a model and playing with a BB gun.
Yeah, now with the 3D printing, there's all kinds of stuff that they can do because they can make their custom parts.
Oh yeah, what am I thinking? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you can just start with anything and then come up with whatever. Use the trigger mechanism from a toy and then make whatever the rest of it yourself. Probably make your own projectiles. Back in the day, all we could do is take the Nerf part off and shoot the plastic stem around. This sucks being on a 75 mile an hour downhill into the town, so they can see what's going on, and all these trucks are behind me wanting to go way faster than 75 down this hill, but I don't want a ticket. So they're all like swearing at me, I'm sure, on this. Y'all have 75 miles an hour on the highways in your area?
Oh yeah, there's one you go towards Martinsburg around here, which is heading towards the DC area, but it's not quite as far as DC. But you get on 81 there, in between Winchester, Virginia, and Martinsburg, the speed limit's 80.
We don't have many here in my local area. 65, but doesn't hit 75 locally.
80 would be cool. I don't think, I might have driven on a posted 85 in Texas, but I can't remember if we drove on it or just thought about driving it. But I think there's a posted 85 in Texas. But I only noticed it because I just got off of one that was like 40 miles an hour. So when you hit 75 after 40, you feel like you're really going fast.
There is a stretch of, I think, I-90 runs across the state that's got 75, but other than that, 70 is the max here in Washington.
You got these LCD displays up in the air like this?
Yeah.
They'll get the bank alerts on, and they'll tell you to change the speed limit and stuff. Like if there was a fire here, they'd say, "Hey, there's a fire."
Yeah, there's some spots that have that, kind of the high traffic areas where they adjust the speed throughout the day, depending on how much traffic there is. And then the rest are just electronic reader boards. Right now they kind of all say, wear your mask, be safe, stay home. So MKJO wants to know, G-Webs, is 9mm okay if it's coming out of a Beretta M12 submachine gun?
She loves 9mm. Don't let him lie to you.
He might have froze. Yesterday's pomades out there. Hello.
Yeah, that question shocked you up so much that he completely froze.
Shock to a system.
Got a coupon for $20 off a $100 order from Sportsman's Guide. So if anybody orders, keep an eye on your mail.
Oh yeah, he dropped.
I'd say any handgun caliber is better out of a submachine gun.
Yeah, thanks MKJO. You made him rage quit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think he has said that the Uzi was pretty much the only 9mm that was kind of acceptable.
And he's going to love 30 Super Carry, huh?
Are you back, G-Webs? Maybe not. I don't know. I personally am not interested in any way in the 30 Super Carry.
Me neither. Not really. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong. I just don't see any draw to it personally. That's just me. Curious penetration, how it's going to work with a little bit smaller round going comparably the same as 9mm. So maybe some penetration benefits. So that could be a plus depending on the situation. But other than that, I don't see any, especially when you look at the cost. I mean, you're paying as much or possibly more than a better round. This just doesn't add up to me.
Well, it's going to be better than 380 Yeah, that much has already been established. It's going to be right around the power of the lighter weight 9 millimeters, and the one gel test I saw, it penetrated 2 inches deeper into the gel than what the comparable 9 millimeter round did.
I don't know. I'm fine with 380, and I'll keep carrying my PPK. Then these are my personal decisions and opinions.
It seems like a small market because, not speaking for you, boss, but a lot of people drop down to 380. I think because of concealability and because it's softer shooting for say, it's not when you get into a real small gun, it's not necessarily softer shooting, but more of a what's the word recoil, manageable recoil for them. It's older, arthritis, a lot of females, things like this. So for that market, getting something that's even hotter and more aggressive, it seems kind of counterproductive. It only seems like there'd be that small little niche of people that just really want the extra rounds, or possibly like got brought up on, I think, G23 show competition. You can get a couple extra rounds for competition. That's probably a plus. But other than that, I don't know. It seems like it's like they're reaching. I don't know. To me, for a small market and trying to hype it into something bigger.
No, we need to wait.
Just me. I don't know.
Yeah. With all things, you got to wait until it actually hits the market and we get more information on it before actually judging it. It could have potential to be something, especially for people that are carrying single stacks like the Shield or something like that, because Smith & Wesson's all full in on this thing. And so if they come out with a magazine and a barrel for the Shield, the single stack shields, you could carry in 2 more rounds of that's the more rounds the better, right? So
True, but there's only so many people that see things that way, and like especially when you consider the revolver guys, which Boston probably speak for. He carries a revolver, so he's capped at 6 rounds typically. So, and a lot of people feel comfortable with that. So, again, that's only focused on a small segment of the market, which business wise to me just seems weird. But what do I know? I'm the poor guy that drives an old Honda. So,
it's not bad to try out new stuff for a company, as long as it doesn't kill them financially, because whatever technology changes they make in this gun, maybe it'll lead to something else if this round doesn't take off.
The Mike White's point out there about what the way ammo is right now, what's the point? So because there's an ammo shortage or what have you, companies are supposed to stop innovating? Everybody's just supposed to go stagnant? I mean,
I said that too last week, where it's not the best time to come out with a new round when you can't get the old rounds. And maybe they didn't have a choice. They've been working on this for a while and they needed to get it released, and that's when it fell.
Yeah, it takes a few years to develop these things. It's not like they just started doing it 5 months ago. And
Am I connected again?
We can hear you.
Well, if I agree with Rich, and if they're going to be able to develop a round that uses whatever the percentage less lead, then in the long run you can make more of that new round than the old round, which took more lead, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good thing, in my opinion.
And you got to keep in mind, I mean, they're developing this round specifically for the more carry sized guns as well. I mean, it's being developed mainly for full size or something like that. Full size, you're still using like a 9 millimeter, right? This is for the smaller guns primarily. I mean, Nighthawk, if you look at what Nighthawk's doing with their 1911 that's chambered in it, it's one of the commander size ones. It's one of the smaller 1911s. It's not a full size 1911 that they developed this in. And Smith and Wesson, the guns that they're bringing it out in, it's like the M&P Compact and the M&P Shield Plus, and they're potentially going to in the Shield EZ and potentially conversion for the standard 9mm Shield. So I mean, this round isn't for full size guns; it's for the compact market.
Yeah, and I did watch Yankees video on it. I don't know why he was comparing factory ammo for 30 Super Carry to hot loaded ammo for 9mm. I think that was kind of unfair.
Yeah, and if you look at the even then, if you look at the say Federal HST in both calibers, the 115 grain, they're very comparable.
Yeah.
Is the 30 Super Carry going to be comparable to a say a Buffalo Bore 9mm plus P plus? Hell no. But when you're looking at regular factory ammo and you compare them to, it's very comparable. I mean, like Paul Harrell says, it might be 50 feet per second less, but at the speed, when you're talking about a round that's going 1150 compared to 1200 feet per second, is that enough of a difference to make a difference?
You be the judge.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
time will tell.
I'm looking forward to the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
See how it performs. You saying you saw a gel test?
Yeah, I think it was Sport Shooting Illustrated had gel test results. Then the 9mm, I think they were comparing the two HST rounds. The 9mm HST had if I remember right, it was the HST. I could be wrong on what brand of what they were comparing. But with it being Federal, I mean, that would be the one you would think they would test, right? The top of the line self-defense rounds from Federal. But the 9mm had a 13-inch penetration through the gel, and the 30 Super Carry was 15 inches.
So, do you know the two models that are supposed to be coming out? Is it going to be like a compact and subcompact?
Yeah, that's what they're doing with Smith and Wesson. I mean, the Shield EZ is kind of in the midpoint. It's the same barrel length as the M&P Compact with the 3.6-inch barrel, and then the Shield Plus is what 3.1-inch barrel. So you're looking at compact to subcompact range is what this is being designed for.
So, what shows are going on today? Who's got what going on today?
I don't know if I'm doing a show, but I have to wait and see how the weather cooperates. But if I end up if everything holds up, because got that snowstorm moving in, which has already started. The snow is falling, and we're supposed to get ice on top of it. The ice is what I'm really worried about in the wind. I don't know how well the power will hold up, or internet for that matter, and whatnot. By 8:30 tonight, that'll be 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I don't. Yeah, I have to wait and see. As of right now, tentatively, the show is still on. So it all depends on what the weather does.
Isn't the Locked and Loaded Latinos? They do a show today.
They may not be, because I think they're traveling to SHOT Show also, so I'm not 100% sure if they are or not.
Budget or MK Outdoors has his show tonight. He'll be going on. He's got it scheduled for 7, and I don't know if Scotsman's doing his show tonight or not. That would be at 7 Eastern as well.
Then the Gay Frog Chat, E Honda. I don't know what time. Usually about the same time as the closer. Well, whoosh. Midnight Range is late night chat, which I don't know the time either. I don't.
He's been starting what 10?
6:30. So 9:30 Eastern, roughly, somewhere between 9 and 10 over on the East Coast is when he's been starting. I don't think he did one last week. So
No,
he
he
was
didn't
sick
do one
last
last week.
the 1 week I could have joined the chat and he didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then Never Enough Ammo has chat, and the Yankee Marshal has chat, and again, I don't remember any of these times. I'm not good at my job, and I'm not very smart. Is there anybody else that there's probably a lot of people, but anyone else we can think of that's got a chat going on today?
No, but Mike White out there saying that Locked and Loaded Latinos do have their show scheduled today.
Oh, okay.
So Burnaby is asking what time Rob D is doing his live stream today.
Rob doesn't live stream. Come on.
He's done
I
some.
think about it.
They
but
weren't
the lady
bad.
keeps bugging me. The lady keeps telling me I should just do my own. But
You did a good
I
job.
don't know. Well, thank you. You never know. You never know. I don't like commitment, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, we know that. We know you don't like commitment.
And Guntoing Pacifist with that's the idea. The idea is that the 30 Super Carry can fit in the 380 size guns and give you a round that's a little more powerful than a 380, almost approaching 9mm power levels. And being the smaller size, you can fit 1, 2, maybe 3 more rounds, depending on whether you got a single or double stack.
Thank you to everybody that's been on the panel. Thank you all you guys that are still here on the panel for coming and making this a lot easier. I don't think I could do 4 hours on my own. And then thank you to everybody that's been out in the chat participating. And if you watch this in replay, if you've made it this far, which I need to remember this. I know you, Baron even made me a checklist.
I did.
Stuff to do for the chat, when to do it in the chat, and I forgot to look at the list. But you can leave comments. You know, if there's something we talked about, you want to jump in the conversation, you can keep it going. So I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us. Congratulations to Burnaby Sanchez for winning the giveaway today. And I'll try and get that stuff sent out to you this week. And let me get down. So if remember, if you don't take care of your time slot,
What you have seen here today, where there is fire, there is smoke. And in that smoke, from this day forward, my people will crouch and conspire and plot and plan for the inevitable day of